Maybe that's what it was.
There you go.
That when I say hello, and then I'm like, hello.
Yeah. You can't eat the ball.
Yeah. Don't put balls in my mouth. Hi, I'm Pete Schweddy.
Don't put those sweaty balls in your mouth.
That's right.
By the way, this is Tipsy Tales. I'm Alma.
I'm Carlene.
And we have a special guest from...
I'll wait. Okay, I'm Phillip. from My Celluloid Heart.
Yes.
Podcast.
We're going to do something a little different to start with. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dogs chewing their Kong toys in the background here. They're like really going to town. Anyways.
Then there's going to be some peanut butter farts.
Yeah.
That Phillip thinks it's us farting.
There's no dogs in here, guys. That's them eating cookies. They got crumble.
Anyways, so we're going to start out. We mentioned this on the last podcast that Carlene was actually going to read Phillip. Can you hear that?
Holy cow. It is so...
I'm going to have to let them out of here because it sounds...
It's really loud.
It sounds like there's like...
Dinosaurs eating
a background.
goat. Yeah, T-Rex eating a goat. Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. This one's not so loud. It's this one.
Yeah, it's getting hot right away. Alrighty. So, anyways, without any further ado, did you guys want to talk about anything else before we started?
Let's just put Carlene on the spot.
Carlene, and go.
I have something that's funny just for a murder podcast.
Yeah.
Do you girls go to watch Dateline? My wife does this. This bitch better be dead because I don't want to waste an hour and a half. And she fucking lived and she's at the bottom of a gully. And I'm like, honey, do you think only you and I are the ones that... She goes, no, I'm sure others are like, what? It's an hour and 20 minutes and now the girl's like, and I made it.
Yeah, I think there have been an occasion that I've said, I swear if they're gonna tell me they're alive, I'm gonna be so pissed because I've watched this whole thing.
I mean, murder sucks, right?
It does.
But
that should be our new tagline. This bitch better be dead.
Oh my god! Another T-shirt.
Yeah.
By the way, I just created a T-shirt in the last week here, and I was so excited.
I didn't see it.
I know. I sent it off to her, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna send, because we had her cousin on the last episode. I'm gonna send her a T-shirt. And this is the one I'm going to send her. So anyways, my cousin, Bianca, she's been on the show too. Mm-hmm. She sent me a picture of her. She's pregnant wearing one of our shirts. And I was like, oh, I got a better one now. And I sent it to her. And like within 2 seconds, she's like, I think I see a typo. I'm like, what? And mind you, I've already ordered 3 shirts. One for Mayana and one for me and one for...
Okay, so... You sent it to me, and you told me about the typo. You didn't tell me where it was. I went, and I'm looking, and I'm like, what? I don't see, where? I did, like, what's missing? Mm-hmm. What's added? Yeah. Oh, shit, it's right there. How did we miss that? So
I'm going to blame it on my contacts because I haven't changed them out.
I'm going to blame it on me being stupid.
You do that a lot. You should set a reminder to change your contacts out.
I know. Well, no, I take them out.
Don't drink that. I wonder how many are floating in there.
Oh, that's happened with us. That's where she ate that bug.
Yep, yeah. Oh, it was with you.
I was like, what happened? I said, is Satan in your body? And she was like, no, it's a gnat.
It's popping.
It is popping again.
I read that it might be static in the room.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
My hair has been, like, Allie and I were in the bathroom, and I'm just standing there, and all of a sudden my hair starts going just on one side. And I still, someone standing next to me. Look at my hair. And then she just grabbed it, and she did this, like, smoothed it out. The static went away. But I have busted out light bulbs.
Wow.
Yeah. My New Mexico family, they had like these $40 light bulbs in their kitchen. And I came home after working all day, walked by their kitchen, and it zapped. And they're like, get out of the kitchen. Those are expensive.
As you run through the hall and all the lights are popping.
Well,
okay, stop moving.
I was in the bathroom, or the bedroom, the guest room that I was staying in, and I'm like, the TV's broken. I'm like, I can't get it to go on. It's completely dead. I'm sorry. I broke your TV. after I left, TV's perfectly fine. They're like, the TV, nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah, we took it in and paid all this money. It
Totally
works fine.
So energy does a lot.
Yeah.
And as we know, your house has a lot in it, energy.
And that reminds me, my wife said, if you're getting this reading, don't bring the devil home.
You won't bring anything.
She really?
I said no. She didn't say the
did
devil,
not.
but she
Don't
said,
bring
first of
anything home
all,
with
she
you?
goes, psychic reading? You mean psychoanalysis?
Yeah.
You need that. And then she said, don't bring evil home. And I said, no. I said, Carlene is the thing of like, you bring in a Ouija board and like, let's read it. She's like, throw that shit outside. It's like the TV at the end of Poltergeist. Wheel it outside.
Nothing bad is allowed to communicate through me.
Yeah,
So we're all good.
And that's what I told her. So.
And if something bad was in or around you, it would be already history.
And you would be like, you're like the,
Yeah,
you
get
get
the
out
fuck
on the fucking, stand by the garbage can.
I also saged my room yesterday. I
Did you?
saged in here, yeah, just in case. Just because we want all good energy.
Yeah. See, even they think
Do the
so.
what? What? Whatever.
was just
You girls have shorthand.
Shop talk.
Yeah.
Shop talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, do that. And I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah. That's how your reading's going to go. It's
Yeah.
going to go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me,
We're done.
you'll be like a psychiatrist. Like, tell me how you feel.
How do you feel?
Well,
And
How
then
does
she's gonna
that
be
make
writing
you
notes.
feel?
She's gonna be like,
yeah. Exactly. Drawing dinosaurs and shit.
All right. So I'll do how I work.
okay.
Well, first of all,
By the way, Carlene has never met Phillip before.
No.
Ever.
Oh, hi. Nice to
never.
meet you.
Hi.
Up until like 5 minutes ago.
I've heard great things.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So just so you guys
That's what
know.
she says here in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys aren't friends on Facebook, are you?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope. I just scroll through the Instagram, my
Podcast?
cellulite.
See, I'm thinking of changing the name. Everybody has a problem saying
cellulite.
Celluloid. Yeah, my dad goes solenoid. That goes in a car. I go no. Cellulite? No, Dad. Celluloid.
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 Yeah.
What would you
Celluloid.
change it to if you changed it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to now because then I'd lose all the people that were
I
like,
don't
where'd
think
it
you
go?
should. I think it's fine.
Yeah, it
like
would
it.
just be like film lover or something. But yeah, no, it's just whenever it doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well. So when people are like, my celluloid heart, like that's how it comes out when everybody's talking about.
Yeah, especially
It's
when we've been
hilarious, though.
drinking.
Yeah. Hey, good drinking game
What?
to try and say his.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say
every
tongue
time we say it
twister
wrong,
and
we have
then-
to drink.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. Every time we say cellulite.
Cellulite.
And there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, number one rule, don't focus on one thing like, well, if she says this, then I know she's real. Or if they do this, or if that happens, or don't do that. Just
Okay.
be open to receive whatever is said because we don't control it, they do. And anything that is brought through for you is for you. And I would usually tell people like what we think we need and what we think we want and what they know we need are completely different.
Yeah. Well, it's like you got with her uncle. You were saying that was, that was what he needed. And, it was joyous.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell he wanted more of something else, but that was not what they had in mind. So I just
And
have
that-
to do what they say.
That's one where you could see phony people would go, oh, they want more. I'm going to tell them more.
Yeah.
And then just degrade the whole situation because now you've gotten too much of like.
Right. And the other thing, I spend typically, if we're not doing this, I spend a whole lot of time with people. I don't cut them off in an hour. And I don't charge more for that. I just do it because I don't know if this is the only time I'm going to have that person. Yeah. And I don't know. And my only wish for you is that when you leave, you know that you have loved ones around you. It has nothing to do with me. It's all about you. It's about like you getting the validation you need to know that there's something greater out here and that they're helping you while you're doing your work here.
Yeah.
So that sometimes we feel alone, but you don't need to because they're with you.
Yeah.
Their job is to help you work and do your job here. So, and guide you. So they channel through me, and my kids used to make fun of me because they moved me. And so my kids would be like, my mom's doing, she's doing her thing. And then I would be embarrassed about it, but now I love it because it includes you, because I can tell you some of the things that they're doing, or they can call me out. If I say something wrong, it's not exactly what they want me to say. They'll shake my head and say, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or yes, that's it. So, before I even say anything, you'll see me like, no, yes, no, I'm doing it wrong. But anyway,
Right.
because I'm validating what they want, I just want to honor their words.
Yeah.
Because they chose me to speak to you. So, the nodding, and then if you see me on this side, this is mother energy coming through, and this is father energy coming through. So it could be father, grandfather, or father, grandfather, great-grandfather, so on. Depends on how many times they tap me. And then they will validate. I'm not great at getting names, so I don't rely on that. I'll sometimes validate how they departed, so they might tell me it was, if they do this can mean cancer, something of the blood. It could mean an OD. Depends on how they're making me feel. Also, I'm trying to go really fast.
No, just go at your own pace.
Be normal.
What else did I be normal?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Try.
That was hilarious. Also,
Spirits are laughing in the background.
Yeah.
she's normal.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll just be doodling, and then I might write blue, and I'll say, what color was the truck? And you'll say blue, and I'll be like, okay, I already wrote it down.
Yeah.
Just so you have validation that I already wrote it down. You didn't give it away.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm ready. Did I say everything?
Calm down.
I think so.
Calm down.
No, this is how it works.
I'm
usually
up
her
all
saying,
night.
"Calm
I'm
down."
up all night. Yeah.
Oh, if they say something, it doesn't sound like it's for you, because when we're in it in life anyway, we're only looking right here. We're not looking out. It could be for your wife. It could be for a sibling or a friend or whatever. So just, if it doesn't sound for you, a lot of times I'll be like, put it in your file cabinet.
Okay.
I'll argue with you all day long, but I won't argue with spirit. So
Yeah.
I'll just be like, just put it in your file. You'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
And then you'll text me and be like, oh shit, you're right.
Yeah. Should I have a paper? Should I take notes of some sort of like things
If you
that
want
you
to,
write?
here.
I mean, she's recording it, so I guess that's
Yeah, but you might want to, here.
okay.
Also, if somebody comes through and you're like, sometimes a grandparent, and people say, well, no, but I didn't even know them. But they know you, so.
I got that recently.
And if I write my stuff down to remember for myself, is that gonna bother you?
No.
Or should I like write it in secret?
No, you're fine.
Carlene's crazy.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
No, we all know. I got the memo from your whole
won't-
neighborhood.
I won't even care. Okay, so I'm going to start off by cheating because I feel like I don't want to waste time trying to figure it out. And I feel like I'm getting... So when I first start, it's kind of like talking on a staticky phone because we're just connecting. Sometimes it comes right away, but sometimes it's like you're on a staticky phone. Just go with it. Don't give up on me just yet. Just like... go with it until we're totally connected.
Right.
And then their personalities come through. It's really great. But do you have a parent on the other side?
Yes.
See how they answered after you? That was great. But they had already told me because I wrote down parent. So I already knew that. But do you have both parents or just one?
Just one.
Okay. Now here's the part that I'm getting confused at. Because there's a 50-50 chance. I'm going to write this down. Is it your mom?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. She was over here, and then I just felt like it wasn't, but that could mean that she wants to talk about your dad or something. Were they married? Okay. That makes sense then. She wants to talk about your dad. Has she been on the other side for a long time?
Yeah.
5 years is not a long time to them.
Yeah,
so.
longer than
Okay.
5. Yeah. Should I give you a date?
No,
Okay.
not yet anyway.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, you are her baby. See, you're her baby. Well, at least she's not like, keep him away from me.
Yeah.
Little bastard.
Yeah.
You're her baby. Well, so when they do this is their way of like hugging you. So she's letting me know that she's hugging you and telling you she loves you. Just say yes or no. Did she have something when she departed? Did it have something to do with up here?
Yes.
Oh. Did it have to do with her heart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And was it super sudden? Hold on. Don't answer.
Okay.
Okay. So did she have like bouts of like she wasn't always the healthiest of people?
No.
Is it towards the end? See what she's doing? She's going like this. It was drawn out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but yeah.
I don't understand. That's why I'm asking you now, because
But
I don't understand what she's just showing me something that was drawn out.
Yeah.
Since you get to see what she's doing, because I've not really had them do this to me before. Usually they just will tell me. Oh, okay. Do you know, did she have like high blood pressure and stuff? Do you happen to know?
I think so.
You wouldn't really know is what she's telling me.
Yeah.
He didn't know my health ailments. Stop asking him stuff like that. I'm trying to identify you.
Trying to help.
Yeah. She's a feisty woman.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, I'm guessing right now, so I'm just going to guess. Was she in the hospital or anything before she died?
Yes.
Okay. Because I am getting the feel. Did you get to see her?
Yes.
Okay. Was there a point where she couldn't respond to people talking to her? Okay. Because she's showing me, like if somebody's holding her hand and trying to say, like, I love you, you were made, thank you for being here, whatever, giving their last,
Yeah.
you can go now, it's okay, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So that's their way. That's her way of letting you know she heard and felt everything.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Now you're being confusing. Okay, this is weird. That's the wrong. Oh, I lost my page. There we go. 2. Okay. How many? Do you have a sibling?
No.
Is you all by yourself? There's no other kids. No. Well,
Right.
no, because your parents are together, so there's no stepkids or anything, right?
Right.
And you don't have kids?
No.
Do you know why she's counting? Oh, you and your dad. Sorry. And the plus one would be your wife.
Yeah.
Again, she's talking to me very different than others, so I can't figure it out. You get it, right? Because see how she showed it to me? She's like, 2. These are the ones that are here. There's 2, and then there's 1 extra. Okay. Were you married already?
What? No.
Did she know your wife?
No.
Listen, okay. Oh, shoot. I kind of wish I would have said something first because I don't want it to sound like I'm fishing for stuff, but I just want you to know. Okay. She's saying, she's speaking very endearing. She's acting like she knows your wife. And that, have you told your wife, like, my mom would really love you? Because she hears you say that, and she's like, I would really love her.
Yeah.
She's like your mom. There's parts of your wife that are like your mom.
Yeah.
Her heart. She's got a good heart. Do you say? I'm just going to say what I hear. I just heard something about somebody's cooking.
Yeah, my wife's a real good cook.
Okay.
My mom was not a very good
Okay,
cook.
because that makes sense. Did people used to tease your mom about her cooking?
Yes. She brings salads to the potlucks and stuff.
And she said, your dad thinks he's really funny all the time. He's not as funny as he thinks, she said.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Do you, shoot. Does your dad live here?
No.
Or another state?
Another state, yeah.
Could there be a better connection between you and your dad?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to...
Yeah, trying to figure it. Well, for a
Well,
long
I'm trying
time
to
he
censor
lived
a little
here.
bit, too, because I don't know what you want out here.
Right. Whatever. I'm open.
Okay, she's just commenting on the fact that she would like to see you guys be closer, but I feel like that's hard. Your dad's not very easy to be close to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. He's one of those, like, a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Like 2 days. It's like Alma.
He's definitely not a mushy kind of person. I feel like you're more of an emotional person, and he got all his good qualities from me, she says. But your dad is not, he doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, Ali does a little, but yeah, I'm more of the girly girl. I like taking baths.
Girly girl.
Take baths, yeah.
And your dad is the old-fashioned get up and dust it off kind of guy. If you fall, skin your knee, he's going to get up and dust it off kind of guy.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. He's old school, 72
He's definitely
years
not
old,
an
like,
asshole,
right.
but he has
He's
a
just
tough
like,
side to him.
yeah. I was thinking about it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Just this won't lead you in anyway, but it was one of those where at a bar, I said, Dad, why don't you, he goes, give me that pitcher, pour me a beer. I said, please be nice. Thank you. He's like, when I'm with my buddies, I don't go, could you please hand me a drink?
Right.
I just go, give me the pitcher, and they give it to me and I pour me a drink. I said, well, okay.
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah.
That is him. Yeah.
But he's a sweetheart, but yes.
Yeah. She definitely has her pet peeves about him. Like, oh, that stuff used to drive me crazy. Because she's not like that.
Yeah.
She's more of like a, we're going to set the table tonight. And he's like, what? We're going to have TV trays. We're going to...
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I love the man you have become, she just said.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Like she sees you with your wife and the dogs and the family man that you are. And that makes her really happy and feel a lot of pride.
Cool. I hope so.
I get it. Because now watching my boys with their significant others and have like my son married, to see them, how they are, you're like, they heard me. Like they got it. That's awesome.
Same.
Right? She wants more for you. Like what we see and what you see about yourself is different. She says that you don't know that you deserve more. Great more, like you're just like, I work hard, this is what I do, I love it, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
But she's like, no, there's more. Go get it. Don't sell yourself short. She's like really encouraging you to get more.
Yeah.
You have the drive for it.
Yeah.
It's not for a lack of drive. It's for like, but I'm comfortable. I'm good.
It's okay. That thing of like, my wife makes the big bucks, so I sit at home for 4 days, take care of the house, do the dishes and the laundry.
Mom's always,
podcast.
huh?
Work on the podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Moms always want more for them.
Yeah.
The kids. It's weird because I do see her showing me more with the podcast. And I don't do like futures unless they're showing me something that will be good for you. And I don't know exactly what she's showing me. I feel like there's growth. It's weird because when you were talking in there, I sensed it too. Like there's more growth. Like it's bigger than what it's going to be bigger. It's a matter of like knowing that and making it bigger.
Well, and then there's little bits of that where, like you said, it's the not necessarily interpretation, but it's the thing of I used to do a show every 2 weeks. Now I do it every week. So that's like more. Yeah. But it could be more, like you said. But yeah.
You're definitely doing a lot more, though. I noticed that.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. That's amazing. Sure, I'm glad I'm using my own pen since I'm sitting here. Look at this thing has turned into like a major itchy. It's awful.
You allergic to something?
No, well, my I have RSD, and it really like ignited here. It felt like I had cactus thorns in me, and now I have no feeling under here.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Ooh.
Your mom, I swear, she wasn't a nurse or anything, was she?
She kind of, yeah. She never went like full school, but yeah, she was doing nursing.
Because she's like
regular,
acting like one right now.
Yeah.
She wants to take care of me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
As I'm telling you guys, I feel her like, okay, so this is what we need to do. Now this is what she's telling, like, wants to totally take care of me right now. She's so sweet. I'm going to take her home with me.
And her and my dad are like naturopaths who are like, oh,
get
do
out.
This, do that, do
that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you were introduced to me, so I can be introduced to her.
No, maybe.
Huh?
Yeah.
When she visits you, those dogs go crazy.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because your dogs see her, and I feel like they just start, like one sets the other off. So then it's like, what the hell are they barking at? And they're barking at her.
Yeah.
Well, her and others. There's more than just her that comes to, yeah, see, she's showing me.
Yeah.
Do you guys want kids ever?
I did before, and then I was like, no, I'm good. And so we talked about
the dogs
maybe
are your
later,
kids,
like
by the way.
the dogs are kids, maybe foster children or something. But just to get somebody at like 13 and then give them like a good house in high school, and then okay, you're good, you know. Because nobody gets a 13-year-olds.
No, right,
they're all
right,
getting
right.
the babies.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, let's get some of the troubled ones and try to help them, you know.
Well, first of all, the first thing she said was the dogs are your kids, and then she was showing me how they get a little crazy when they see her, and then she was saying she was bringing up the kids, and now as you're talking, she's encouraging you to do that. Is that what you were talking about? Boy, your heart has a lot of ideas. It's a matter of finding which one are the right ideas. She thinks that one is one of the right ideas. The ones worth taking on that are right for you.
Yeah.
And your wife.
Yeah, she got a new job, and she was a second job, making more money. And they watched a video on like foster children because she's working at the psych place. You know, if I get you committed, I have to go downtown, sign a paper, do all that, and that's where she'll be working. So not county, but anyway. But they watched a video for orientation, and she was like, I saw these foster children on this video, and I'm like, I hear you.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely something to put your energy towards to see if it's right for you guys. Because they say it is.
Yeah.
Your wife has siblings, so?
Yes.
Does she have one on the other side that you know of?
No.
Put this in your file cabinet.
Okay.
And just see. I just have to get this out of my system. I don't think so, but I'm going to ask anyway. Does she have a parent on the other side?
Yes.
Oh, here I am pushing them away. I wonder if her mom had a miscarriage or something, and that's the one I'm seeing over here.
It could have been.
Yeah. Is her mom the one that's on the other side?
Yes.
Okay. Because she nodded right when I said that, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
She gave it away. Cool. I kept feeling her want to peek in, and then I was like, you can come in.
Yeah.
Is she a more recent departure?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. You guys were... Okay, I get it now. Did she have cancer or something?
No.
Was it something of the blood, something that spread?
Something I don't really know, but it
Was she laid up?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Remember when I was asking about your mom?
Yeah.
I think it was her trying to come in, and they were kind of piggybacking.
Yeah.
You know when they do that? Because she was getting a little anxious. Did she have some? Is she the one that had something that was like where she was sick off and on, or for a while? Did she have ailments? Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, she had.
Okay.
She had ailments. Sorry.
Chug your wine.
She had ailments. I know, right? She had ailments, and before it was, she was on heroin and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Way back in the day. But, yeah.
Do you happen to know? Did she have problems with her knees or her legs? She's saying yeah.
I think her back is what I heard.
Find out about her knees because she keeps going to her knees.
Okay.
I could be misinterpreting it, but I feel like she keeps going to my legs, like her knees hurt or her legs hurt, or she walked with a cane or a limp.
Yeah, there at the end, I think she was.
Okay. She says, I don't know if my daughter really knew how much I loved her.
That's true, yeah.
So will you please let my daughter know how much I love her?
I will let her know.
Your wife, she says, my daughter is like a saving grace. She carries this light about her that like can naturally heal people and just make you feel good. So she refers to her as, what did I say? Naturally saving grace.
Yeah.
No, she said, how was I so blessed to give birth to someone so amazing And then to not even know that I did that.
Yeah.
Like she took it for granted and she didn't realize it.
Yeah.
She wants her to know that her soul is pure now. So as her soul heals over there, it heals through helping those that are here. So she's learning, and she's seen through watching her life and the things that she did, and watching through her loved one's eyes, how her actions affected others.
Yeah.
And now her soul is growing, and that's why she's able to see and say these things. But she just wants it explained to her daughter. Oh, she said, it actually is better late than never. You know, it's better said than not said.
Yeah.
I feel, is your wife, I feel a lot of stress coming from your wife. So does she get high strung, or does she have a stressful job, or?
She's a nurse, so, but she doesn't take it as stressful as others do. Like, she can handle that kind of stuff. But it's that thing of, she used to have anxiety, and then when she got with me, I was so mellow that we kind of met in the middle, and I taught her about meditation and calm.com and all this. And so now I'll be like, hey, why don't you do this? But like, we went to, side note, we went to Grimaldi's today over in Scottsdale. We usually go to the one me and Sir Joan Yvette went to over on Northern. Went to Grimaldi's in Scottsdale, and my wife's like, I go, maybe we should go check this place out. Let's go look at some other. Nope, we're going to get in the car. We're going to go home. Too many people in Scottsdale. What are they doing out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday? I'm like, I hear you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's that thing of, can't go to Walmart on the 3rd of the month because everybody's got their check and they're all trying to buy shit.
That's
and
true.
Bumping it. So my wife's like, nope. So she's Amazon. We buy everything from Amazon.
Yeah, I definitely feel.
I feel like we're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel her stress being pushed down, and that it's going to come out somehow, some way. So it's good that you have. I need her to I think she's used to pushing her stress down.
Right.
Like, she's the hero. She doesn't, however she was raised, she's used, how I was raised, just shut it off. Don't let those emotions be seen. Save yourself.
Yeah, it's that thing with her mother. It was just it's like something we talked about earlier. It's like, I'm around when you're nodding off from whatever. So she's like, I was 13 or 10. We're driving in a car and her mom's on the nod. And she's like, so she gets nervous if I try to drive. No, I'm going to drive because it's a thing of, I'm out of control,
Right.
Same thing, they'd be at dinner and her mom would be, so.
She had to always be in control.
Yeah. So growing up, she just had to be we have to fend for ourselves. She has an older brother and it was just,
I grew up I get it. I grew up the same way. You just have to.
But yeah,
it's a survival.
Yeah, it's a thing of this,
Sure.
you said, the stress. She needs a valve to, relieve the stress or whatever.
Yeah, because she still carries that, like you said, those are post-traumatic stress disorder. Things that you are carrying from your past that you don't need to carry anymore.
I think when you grow up in survival mode, you don't know how to let go of that. It's hard.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's why, whether mom would write us, I can lead you on this. This is okay. But her mom would write us and be like, hey, I tell Danielle I love her, tell her happy Easter, tell her whatever. Danielle would be like, whatever.
Yeah, she'd
have to write it through me because Danielle wouldn't follow her on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you guard yourself from being hurt or disappointed again, too.
Well, and you did this to me. We're done.
We're done, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, she understands now. She's pure and,
Yeah, her soul's definitely, it's not, the physical world makes it toxic. We don't come into the world assholes.
Yeah.
The world makes us assholes.
Yeah. I don't know. That baby on, what's that, Roger Rabbit? He was an asshole.
Yeah,
He
you know what? I do
smoking
often.
a cigar?
Yeah. I do often wonder, like, well, some personality traits you are born with. I mean,
Well, it's like everybody
Nature
says.
or nurture.
Like, right. Like, Hitler wasn't born to be a killer. Hitler was probably a cute baby, had his favorite songs, like, all this kind of loved art.
And then he was like, fuck,
then
I
was
got
like,
one
yeah.
ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
And
like, fuck
so I'm
you,
going to be,
syphilis.
fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have a story.
Fuck the world.
Yeah. Well, it's the same nurture and nature. Not to bring. No. The Night Stalker. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted.
Right.
Something like
Yes.
that. That's
Yes. Because,
that
the
should have
things
been
that
nurture.
he perpetrated were
Yeah.
perpetrated upon him
Yeah.
growing up as a very young boy.
Yeah.
But not an excuse, because a lot of people
Right. Yeah.
come
Yeah.
through that shit
Yes.
and don't turn into.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
You become a victim or a victor of your circumstances. Your wife is a victim. I mean, a victor.
Yeah.
And she's made something of herself. But she also, she, like, I worked with kids purposely to help kids that might be in the situation like mine. So I think she became a nurse for your natural caregiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a natural caregiver.
Yeah. She'd wanted to be a cop, and then realized cops are just like high school. Like everybody's bitching about everybody. So she's like, "You're not the heroes that I thought."
Yeah.
So then she became a nurse.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Hello.
Somebody's a knocking.
Well, I'm trying to ask questions like, hello, you kind of say anything else? This is at that point where I would be like, I'm going to go walk around in my kitchen. Because it's like, I know they're here, but I can't hear them. Oh, at one point, so I think you said your wife has a brother. Wait, does your wife have any tattoos?
Tattoos?
Yeah.
No.
No, I didn't think so. Oh, let me just put this out there. I'm going to generalize it. This is going to sound hokey, but I feel, at first I thought it was for you, but I don't think you have any tattoos, do you?
I don't know.
Let me just.
You're the
you
psychic.
do.
You're supposed
You
to.
do.
Yeah, I got an underdog.
Okay, so hold on though. When I was talking to your mom, but again, I now know I had both moms chiming in. I was going to ask, and I don't know if underdog is in memory of anybody, but I'm looking for a tattoo that's in honor of somebody.
My mom. This is where I don't know what I'm supposed to say or
Well,
whatever.
hold on. Let me elaborate.
Okay.
I feel like one of these moms was letting me know that somebody has a tattoo in honor of somebody over here. But I don't know. This is why it's going to be general. And I will tell you, I know it's general. But since you said she had a brother, I already know your wife probably didn't have a tattoo. I don't know why I assume that. Everybody has a tattoo these days. But I wonder if her brother got something in honor of, whoa, there's a grandfather over here. Oh, is it? Do you know, do you happen to know if you or if your wife, there's a grandfather presence that's in the military?
Yes.
Is that you or is that her? Since now they're all just chiming in.
Yeah.
I'm so confused
I'm
right
not
now.
sure about her grandparents, but my grandfather was in the military.
Okay.
I believe he was, but I'm not.
Okay, let me
100%.
describe him. Did you know him?
Yes.
Is this your dad's dad or your mom's dad?
Oh, my dad's dad was in the military.
This is
that
who I
one
feel.
I know for sure. Okay.
Okay, this is who I feel. I feel like he is a definite man's man, a very.
That's where my
I
dad
am
got
the
it from.
leader. Okay, I am the leader. You listen to me. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Things become like he's strict. He's very strict. And so, yeah, there's no, like, he would whip somebody with a belt. That's who I feel. So, I think that's your dad's dad, but you tell me.
I think that's dad's dad. Yeah, he was, which I got a story to tell you when we're not recording about that guy. I can tell you now if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Story. So, when my dad's young, he used to draw pictures. So, one day, my grandpa, who I never met, my dad's young, He leaves him in the car. He goes to some girl's house. My dad's drawing a picture of a house and a car and da-da-da. Gets home later. The mom is like, my grandma's like, my aunt was like, oh, let me see what you drew. Oh, that house looks familiar.
No.
Is that Janet's house or
No.
whatever? It's like, yeah, we pulled in there the other day and I waited for 30 minutes or an hour.
Get out.
And they're like, motherfucker.
Get out.
I was like, oh my God, Dad.
Throw
that's
your dad
hilarious.
under the bus.
That's the best
threw my
story.
Or your
his
grandpa under the bus.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
He's full of awesome stories.
That's such a great story. You know what?
Like, that's hilarious.
I keep drawing stars, which is odd.
She does.
I don't know why. That never happens. Like, I will scribble. But do you have any relation to stars? Do you know why I'd be doing that?
Unless, would you think that would mean like heaven or angels? Or
I mean,
is it interpretation?
I would think more
or...
like galaxy and universe. But yeah, that actually does. That's part of my story, actually, is that me going to the other side, and it actually doesn't look like what people think.
Right.
It looks like the galaxy.
Yeah. No, this, my mom, this is a really cool story. I love it. It gave me chills when I found it. So, and not to lead you, but I got to tell
No,
the
she
story.
just
It's a
told
great
me
story.
I was supposed to say that so that she's leading us.
So it's
Yeah,
so she used to have this little, at the, maybe not dollar store, but an angel holding a clock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was an angel holding a clock. And after she passed away, I flew right to Kansas, went to the hospital, hung out there. They pronounced her dead at 3:19. I get back to her house, first time I've ever been there. And I go into the bathroom to use the restroom, and there's all these angels next to the toilet. And one of them that's holding the clock has stopped at 3:19.
Get out.
And I was like, holy shit. And I grabbed it, put it in my bag.
I've
brought
got
it home.
chills.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was way cool.
That was your mom?
Yeah.
That's so amazing. Okay, so do you often see 319? Do you
Not
go
that
through
I've
days?
Now I'm going to see it everywhere.
You
Just
will.
like when you buy a new car, you see
Yeah.
that car every
Right.
time. Yeah.
Because she was talking about seeing signs.
Mm-hmm.
I thought your wife felt, but didn't, like she brushes it off. But then she had me write signs 319 and circle it. So I think, like, if you wake up in the middle of the night and every time you do, it's 319. Or, man, all day today, every time I look at the clock, I woke up in the middle of the night, 319. I look at the clock at 319 today. It's always 319.
Yeah.
If that does happen, that's your mom giving you a sign
Okay.
that she's with you.
Okay.
The stars, that she was leading us to that story.
Okay.
Because do you forget to talk to her?
My mom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm more of a spiritual person than a, God, give me a new bike. I used to do that. Never got a new bike. I was like, come on, man. And then in the Bible it says you shouldn't quit. You don't need to show me. But no, because I have her urn. Like with my grandma, I go to I haven't been there for a while, so I'm not. I always go to the gravesite, but when I go there, then you're like, "Hey, grandma," and you're talking to your grandma. With my mom, I finally
At the
moved her
house.
out of the garage into my wife goes, "Get her out of the fucking garage." I'm like, okay. She's like, "You want a new urn?" I go, "Those cost money." And she's like, "This one's ugly." I'm like, "My stepdad got it." Like, let's
Listen, I told my kids to cremate me, put me in a bag, and do whatever you want with me. It's just a body.
You come in a cool square box. Like, leave me the box. Draw some artwork on it.
Do what you want. It's all about you. It has nothing to do with me. It's just a body I was borrowing. Well, she...
But no, I don't talk to her as much. Sometimes I'll think of her, but I won't talk to her. But I'll be like, oh yeah, my mom would whatever, would like this or.
So you're spiritual. So I will tell you there is a difference between religion and faith. Religion to me is man-made rules and regulations. Faith is your personal connection to whatever you call them. Call them Santa Claus for all I care, but.
Right.
But you must have belief in something greater than you because you're allowing me to do this. And you're open enough that I can bring through people.
Yeah.
So that faith is that connection that allows you to know that your mom is around.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to talk to a gravesite or you can just, she could be with you on the car ride.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
right here because we're light. So we're just energy. So, when you go to Costco, you constantly are shocking yourself, or that's where I get shocked the most is Costco.
Yeah, it's just you. We're
Yeah.
good. But
Yeah.
That has never happened to us.
No, my poor cat, I go to touch her and she's like, but that's because
Oh my God, I have a story, but
we are light. We are energy.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're done with our bodies, I remember my sister died, and my younger sister was like, it doesn't look like her, and it's just that they did a terrible job. And I said, well, why would that look like her? The spark in her eye, her personality, that light isn't in there anymore.
Yeah.
She doesn't need that body anymore. She's out here with us.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. And so I always tell people, which I wrote that they get the best of both worlds. They get to be in this beautiful place that is unconditional love and no judgment and beautiful, and they get to be here with us whenever we need them.
Yeah.
Or whenever you talk to them or call on them. And it can be as fast as this, So this is her way of saying, talk to me more.
Talk to me more. Yeah. Yeah.
And that she is sending you signs. And sometimes, like when they just pop in your head, or when you just hear that song that reminds you of them, and you're like, wow, I wasn't even, okay, I guess I'm thinking of my mom. That's because they are thinking about you. So, when you're telepathically.
Oh, right.
So,
yeah.
like when you're thinking about somebody and they call you.
I call them cosmic coincidences. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
That's how we communicate with everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right when she goes to record it and you're quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I thought
it's okay.
you were recording the whole time. I'm just listening to spirits.
was
So
still going.
I just feel like I'm catching conversation between moms right now. Like, this is what I'm hearing. I just hope that one day she'll forgive me. She might say she forgives me, but I don't feel like I feel that she forgives me. Maybe one day she'll forgive me. Like she's just not ready right now. But I'm here when she forgives me. But she's not talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm overhearing a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's her dad keeps telling her, like, just your mom was on drugs at this one time, and then I left, and she got better, and your mom was a good mom. She's like, no, it's like you left us, and you weren't there to see her nodding off or doing this.
That's
So
what
it
she
is-
remembers.
It is hard for her to
Forgive.
Separate.
step out of that and forgive that. Yeah.
I get that.
It is. I know. It is hard. But,
yeah.
my mom drank, and I used to tell people she was Budweiser, and she's an amazing grandmother, and she's a totally different person now. And what you have to decide is, are you going to have an adult like that child? First of all, nothing is by accident. Your wife chose that mom. She chose that dad. She knew that was part of her journey.
Yeah.
That was her soul's choice, and it made her who she is.
Yeah.
That was all. Life happens for you, not to you. That was for her. You can't be mad at that. I mean, you can, but you're crazy. You should be grateful.
Yeah.
That made you who you are. So the best thing, like I learned, thank you for my past, because you made me a kick-ass mom. You made me who I am. And I wouldn't be able to survive half of my adulthood if I didn't learn the survival that I learned as a kid. And in that, you kind of learn forgiveness because they were going through their own shit. We don't really know what that story was that they were going through. And they were messed up. And I've forgiven her because I want an adult relationship. And that was the mother-child.
Yeah.
And the child was the one that was hurt.
Yeah.
I'm an adult now. I'm a grown-ass woman. And because I'm thankful for my past and I learned so much, I can't really be mad at the person that created the lessons for me.
Yeah.
So it's over and I'm moving forward.
And it does no good to be in this.
It hurts you.
It brings you down and makes you just always, whatever, regret or whatever. And it should be just like blow it off and be like, and I think that's where part of her is. My wife's like, nah, I forgive her. But it's also just, I forgive her. There, I said it.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
It's still in there because I can feel it.
Yeah.
And so there's that pit, that little dark pit that's still in there and still needs some healing, but she has to do that on her own time.
Yeah.
And that's what her mom understands. Like, I hope that she will find that one day.
Yeah.
And I'll be here when she does.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty final. Did you see that? They just were like, and to done.
Like, we're going.
Yeah.
We got.
You guys cut them off. We're done.
We got Starsky and Hutch to watch.
Yeah. Oh, no, we don't. Not without me telling my son how much I love him. You are such a mama's boy.
Yeah. Well, I was the only child. Everybody's like, you were spoiled. And I'm like, I wasn't really spoiled. And they're like, and then you think about it. Wait, I had grandma, grandpa, like aunts and uncles. Yeah.
Which I appreciate these. It's not just your mom and her mom here, but these are the ones that feel like you need to hear from us more than, but they're all here. Like, I appreciate the grandfather showing me he's here.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? He made it.
It's true. Yeah.
Your mom, I love her humor. You're a lot like your mom. Yes,
I believe so. Yeah.
you are.
Thanks.
She's insisting upon it, so I will
like,
not.
Yeah, tell him. It's not a. I'm not
like,
guessing.
I'm not arguing with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, no, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, she brags about you all the time. And she does listen to your podcast. Oh my God. She listens to your podcast. She's giving me validation.
That's funny.
She said, I feel like she's sitting, I don't know how your room is set up, but like she's sitting across from you listening to your podcast.
Yeah, that's funny because that's exactly, I'm on this side in front of the monitor talking
And
to
she
my
would be
cousin
sitting
through
right here.
Zoom, and she'd be
Get
across
out.
from me. Yeah.
Yeah, and she says,
Why
I
would
know.
I get goosebumps? I get goosebumps.
It's
Even
so
on my
crazy.
legs.
Yeah.
Great. I just shaved my legs.
Yep.
Thanks,
Me too.
Carlene.
And then she says she really likes the older movies that you do. Like, she loves that you do these old movies. Wait, did she just say? Does she like James Dean?
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
Because she
who
said,
doesn't?
if you could do one with James Dean, I'd really like that.
That's cool.
All right. That's who I feel like. I heard it really loud and clear. For me
Yeah.
to hear a name is amazing. So we're going to go with James Dean.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. I get it. Because she's showing me him leaning up against a car. Like an old, like I feel like I'm like a blue car or something. And
Yeah,
she's like,
The car he
The
died
car
in.
he died
Oh
in.
my
Yeah,
God,
the
is
gray
it?
one. Yeah. Yeah.
and she's like, oh, he's so cute.
Yeah.
She's like got a crush on him.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go.
All right.
All right. Well, she's still bragging about you, and you got to talk to your mom more.
All right. I will. Got that all written down. I got a podcast schedule. Now I got to change my podcast schedule and do all 3 James Dean movies because he died so young. So
Is there a piece of jewelry, a necklace or something? I feel like something's hanging on a wall and it's not just a picture. You guys don't have a picture with something hanging on it, do you?
no, I have a picture. I had some jewelry. I don't know if I still have it. When she passed away, she was like, there's a note for everything that needs to be done that's in my jewelry box hidden.
Wow.
If you girls ever do this to your kids, show them, here's where it is. She didn't show me. So I'm going through all of her jewelry boxes, pulling them apart, looking for hidden compartments. I can't find nothing. So I brought all her jewelry with me. So, and then I had, for a while, my wife's like, that's kind of morbid. I had her glasses that she got in the car wreck with, and they had blood on them.
Oh.
And I'm like, look, and I had them in a bag that they gave me, the bag at the hospital. But when you smelled it, it smelled like my mom. And I was like, oh, it smells like her. And then I'm like, that is kind of morbid. It's got her blood on
Did she go through a windshield?
I think the car flipped over and the car landed on her.
Okay, so
I think she might have went through the window,
Okay.
but her face looked
But
okay,
not all the
so
way.
she might have fell out the side.
Okay.
But it was a slippery road.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just
No, it's okay.
go ahead. I'm
It
just
was,
still trying
no,
to figure her out.
I'm good with that. No, it was a gravel road on top of like blacktop, and then they poured gravel on it. Something. They had a lot of gravel, so it was really slippery, and she would never wear her seatbelt.
Right.
And if she did, she had big boobs, so she'd put it under her arm or whatever, but she didn't wear it. So when she got in the wreck, then Jeff, my stepdad, had to lift the car off of her, him and his friend, and then she had internal bleeding, and that was the hard thing, was her blood pressure went. They gave her 17 units of blood, and my wife's like, that's a hell of a lot. And I'm like, yeah. They were like, the doctor said the best thing she could have ever said. She said, I said, look, I don't want to pull the plug and have at the last minute, like, oh shit, if you would have left that plugged in for 20 more minutes, it would be good. The doctor's like, she goes, I never want to say there's never a chance. This is as close to never as we're going to get.
That's why she was talking about.
I said, thank you very much to the doctor, because that's a great doctor to tell you the truth and not give you any kind of hope. To tell you not give you false hope. And
how old are you?
So, it was 2006. I'm 49.
Well, that would explain why she was bringing up.
So I was what? What is that? 15 from 49?
You're telling me to do math in my head.
15 from 49 is 34.
Okay.
That's why she was bringing up the not being able to speak and being in the hospital and somebody being there and what was being said. Yeah. I'm surprised she didn't show me the lights going on, like showing me that somebody had to make that decision because you knew in your soul that it was right. You didn't have a question.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to bring
that up.
And
that's what I was going to... I think she knew, like, I was there. Here's what happened. Yeah. Yeah. It was... there was a time when I was holding her hand and tear rolled down the side of her cheek.
See, she was showing me.
And I go, can she hear me or what? And they go, that we don't know. It's either involuntary or, And
there she answered you.
Yeah.
Because she said she could hear.
Yeah. So it's like,
That was amazing. Yeah. That was good. That was good validation for you.
Yeah, big time.
That she could hear you. Yeah. What'd she say? She could hear and feel everything that was being said.
Yeah, and holding her hand and all that. Yeah, because Jeff, my stepdad, he didn't want to be in there. He was like, no. And I understand. He's like, if I could have just stopped. I go, Jeff, you're going 45 miles an hour. Your arm is not going to stop her. Like they teach you in driver's ed. Like,
constantly I do that with my kids.
And he's like, if I could have only, I said, it's not your fault, But that's why I'm always a proponent. Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. So.
Wow, that was amazing that she said. Oh, the glasses.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, I don't know what she's talking about other than that. Hold on, you do have a picture of her somewhere though, hanging up, don't you?
Yeah, it's my. Go ahead. What?
Well, she just said it's a god awful picture of me.
Yeah, so it's. So when it's not bad, it's good, but it doesn't look like her. So when I put her up at the funeral, I had this picture and put it up, and her cousins, my cousins, but they're her first cousins, were like, they're sitting in the front, and when the thing's done, they come over and they go, is that Sandy? And I go, yeah, and they go, doesn't look like her, and I go, it's a glamour shot. Or not a glamour shot. It was one where my dad was like, have them take a picture of you. So she wore clothes at first. Then the next one was to be naked. So she did one in like a red shirt with her hair down when normally she looked like the picture that I recently shared on Instagram. So that's why she's probably like, I don't. So anyway, that picture.
Can I see her?
So yeah. So anyway, that picture, my mother-in-law was like, let me see that photo album that I have of all of her and everything. And I gave it to her and I didn't know. And then for Christmas, I show up and she's like, here. And it's a picture like a parenting magazine. And it says best, like how to raise your child and all this. And it's a picture of my mom with like, it's really cool.
That's so cute.
So I have that up. But it's that picture that the cousins were like, is that her? And I'm like, yeah, that's her.
I guess she didn't like that picture.
Yeah. Well, I like it. But,
he likes it, and that's all that matters. That's hilarious. Well, we never like pictures of ourselves, so it wouldn't matter what picture it was.
We're more critical of our own.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, but anyway, hang on.
We'd probably do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be 100%. Like, you put up that picture? Well,
the
one that looks like mom is her eating a churro going.
She's
like,
constantly like, I'm going to post this. And I'm like, just go ahead. Because I don't like it. I'm going to say something.
It's like, I don't know. My internet's not working. Hang on, let me turn it off. It's okay. It'll work in a second. Let me turn off.
Yeah, you got to turn off the... I'd give you my Wi-Fi.
It's okay. I'll get it.
Oh, she looks like she's fun. Oops.
Yeah, so that's
I look like I'm drunk, she said.
That's how she looked with glasses. Yeah, she was. We were making like Everclear and
is that
whatever
what you were
we had.
doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and so she had tattoos. She got with my stepdad. She never had tattoos before. Got with my stepdad, and he's this biker guy who knew how to do tattoos, and was like, "Hey, let me give you a teddy bear, like on your boob." So he did, and then he's like, so basically using her as like, I got an idea for a castle.
Canvas.
Let me do that on your ankle.
Oh my God.
So he drew a real cool castle with a road going up to it.
I bet he got a tattoo.
And then he's got all
on
kinds.
her.
So
I mean, in honor of her.
Oh, he might have, but he never told me about it. But it might have been Danielle's brother, who had the tattoo. Okay. But one that was really messed up about my stepdad. So he's an ex-biker, right? Mm-hmm. So he's laying on his deathbed. He's in hospice. And, Joe had his hand in the door, was like shaking. So he's in hospice. He's on the bed. And I go in to see him, and he's asleep because he's on Dilaudid. He's all out of it. Mm-hmm. But I'm there to see him before he passes away. And the way he sleeps, pulls up the covers from the bottom of his feet. Mm-hmm. Big giant swastika on his bottom part of his leg.
Really?
Like on his calf. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then when his friend came over, I'm like, did you know about that? He's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to cover it up because the gay nurse might not like seeing a swastika when it comes to take care of it.
Oh, wow.
That's insane. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Your parents were not married. It was your stepdad and your mom.
Right.
Your stepdad did not have any children?
He had one child from some other marriage, not with my mom.
Yeah.
Some other woman that he got with some biker thing.
Biker thing.
Yeah. But no, my mom and dad were
biker
married
orgy?
from like 60. Probably, yeah. Whose baby is this? I guess I'll take it. So they got married in like 68 or 69. And then were married for 16 years. Wow. Because my dad was cheating on her, but was like, I thought the good thing to do would be to stick around until you're old enough to handle a divorce. I think what would be better, Dad, for Mom is if you would have just left and went and cheated on her like when I was younger. But
those old school days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those old school ways.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll just let her stay and join this show because I don't know if she wants to say more, she can. But
all right.
What'd you think? Did she give you some validation?
Yes. I have to, sit on it, but it was a thing.
It does take some absorption.
It was deep. I got choked up when she says she loves me. But then again, I could tell you,
anybody can say that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I get it. I'm not blowing holes in your thing.
No. I always tell people that we speak generically, so obviously Spirit is going to speak generically.
Right.
However, we do aim to I always will tell them to give me some validation that only you would know, or that will be like, well, you don't know my mom, so how would you know she's like that?
Yeah, well...
Yeah,
and you could have ran into, your mom really loves you. My mom said she hated me when she, or
yeah,
something
which
like that,
they don't. I do get the ones that they'll say, and I want you to be honest, so tell me if you didn't get it, but I will tell you the explanation behind certain things. I do get the ones where the dad will be like, I need you to tell him I love him, but then he's going to think it's not me, so I need you to explain, and then I have to go through the whole explanation, like, your dad says he loves you, and he's like, it's not my dad. And then I have to go, he just said you were going to say that, and then I have to
and then you have to go on this big old thing.
But I already knew, I knew you were mama's boy the way she was making me feel.
But and I'm not diminishing anything. I totally got it. I totally believe it. As I told, which now I'll tell in here, I guess, the story of the thing. So I go to this psychic years ago when I'm right after my underdog tattoo.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to die with no tattoos.
That's hilarious.
So I was like, I want to do things before I die. So I'm like, one of the things is get a tattoo. What you don't know is when you walk into the tattoo parlor, it says, welcome to your next addiction. And you're like, yeah, right. And then you get one, and then you're like, what should I get next?
Right.
Which I never got anything. But I'm like, maybe I should get, Barney or something.
Right.
Barney the dinosaur with Barney cutting off his head, and it says there can be only one. So Barney Rubble and Barney the dinosaur. So anyway, where was I at? We go to the psychic when I'm like 19 or 20, and my friend's mom says, oh, I know a lady. She's a psychic. You guys want to be read? We're like, okay. So she either paid for it or whatever. My friend went in there. I was real tight with this girl, Chris. We were like best friends. We were both only children, all this stuff. So when I go to talk to the woman, for one, I'm talking to her and I'm kind of like, what does she know about me? Because she's Janet's friend. Janet tells her, oh, Phillip and Chris are really close and da-da-da. Then all of a sudden it's, oh, I see that you're this way. And did your grandma die? And maybe Janet was like, yeah, his grandma and grandpa died recently. And then it's like, and then like I told you, we didn't say on here, but the woman at the end, she told me some stuff like, you don't see the world black and white, you see it gray, which kind of true, but that's, I'm like an optimist. I'm like, there could be hope. Hitler's not all bad. Like, shut up, Alma.
But I will tell you, you can get that just by talking to you for 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
So
true. And that's the other thing. So then, at the end, I was like, well, in movies they always read palms. I said, I want to do that. So I go, do you read palms? And she's like, sure. Let me see your hand. And she looks and she goes, I see words. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a scriptwriter. How did you know? Oh my God. I'm like, thank you. And I get out of there and I'm like, she fucking knew that I had words.
That's
like hilarious. She knows. And then I'm like, wait a minute. She was probably like, what does he do? And Janet or Chris were like, he writes scripts. Or maybe when I walked in there, hey, I worked on this one script where it was da-da-da-da-da,
Hold on. Remember when we were talking about your mom talking about, I don't remember the exact words because I was up here.
Is this going to be where you say, I saw words?
No.
Yeah.
Talking about you underestimating, like you doing
me
more.
To be better. Yeah.
As you're talking about that, did you see, she's chatting in my ear as you're talking about that. She's like this, like, see, that's what I was talking about. Not the other shit you were saying. That.
Yeah.
She, so you're not writing anymore?
So it is words.
It is.
Read my palm.
No. Are you not writing anymore?
Alphabet soup.
Stop it. I have to do this.
No, I am. No, I know.
doesn't...
I have started writing now.
Okay.
Like on Instagram, I'm doing reviews, but also my cousin writes like novel type stories. Like he's got this whole big old story that he's working on. Wants to be rich. But I've been like, oh, I write scripts, but now I want to write like in a regular form, like a book. And so I'm like, oh, I should do that. And in fact, I was just talking to my friend Carlene the other day, and she wrote some blog stuff, and she was like, check out what I wrote. And I'm like, I'm thinking of doing this for the podcast, and this for writing. What do you think? She's like, do you really want to do long form reviews for movies where you write them out? I'm like, no, it's easier just to talk on my watch list Instagram live thing that I do. And I'm like, but I do like to write. So, yeah. So, and I'm on this Quentin Tarantino thing now. I'm watching all of his movies through. So I'm like, so that's giving me inspiration to write. But
she's saying,
you're like, I just wanted a yes or no, Phillip.
I just want to get her message through, and I want to do it right. And what she's trying to tell me is that, well, one, that she was a part of that conversation, I guess. So she was listening in.
Cool.
But she also wants to encourage you to do your passion. And sometimes I think you kind of get ADD with your passion, where you will think exactly what you were doing. I could do this, or this, and then I could do this, and this.
Right.
But really, she just said, go back to the beginning, that passion, the very beginning, what started you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. But...
When I met Sergio and kind of where I'm at now with the Quentin.
Okay.
Yeah, Sergio and I, like, from dusk till dawn, and we were like,
let's
go
help?
make a movie. Yes,
I love
that
that
helps
movie.
a lot. Yeah.
That she's like, that's it right there. Go there.
Yeah.
When they do that, I know not to even second guess it. Like
Yeah.
if you do that, things are gonna, it's all gonna make
Yeah,
sense.
it's like you said, you get these, tell them this
Yes.
exact thing.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, she said go back to kindergarten.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say go that far back.
Well, and as you're talking, what she was saying or where she was trying to get me with it, I only get bits and pieces sometimes. It doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense to you. Well, now that you're talking, what she's saying is making sense to me. Plus, she's still chiming in. So I'm like, And she's like, come on, tell him. So then that's where I'm like, come on, I have to be fucking serious right now because she's the boss.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I have to get this message in before I forget it because I'll forget it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, keep going. So what else did you?
What was I saying?
Well, we were kind of critiquing
so the
Carlene.
woman, so the woman read my hand
psychic.
and was like words, and I'm like, and so afterwards I'm like, oh my god. But then you start really like, oh, she knew this, or like you said, like asking opening question, leading the witness.
Right.
Do you have like when you watched? I don't know if he's good or not. John Edwards.
Right.
John Edwards would
he
go.
is, yeah.
Do you have somebody that passed away? Yes, everybody has somebody that passed away.
Did they have a
start
bike?
With a J. No,
Yeah.
it's an H.
Exactly.
I was close
That's
though.
it.
I was 2 letters off. That's what I
Right.
meant. Yeah.
I see somebody with a bike. Oh, over
Yeah.
here, it's me.
Yeah.
You know, when you have like an audience of like 200 people, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, there's going to be
Yeah,
like
the
10
odds-
people. With,
yeah.
the odds go up.
Well, okay,
When you're,
so
it's just us.
yeah.
Speaking of, did you hear about this? Remember the guy? He's still on Popov. He's a religious guy. He's a preacher, and he's on TV still. I don't know why he's still on TV, but he
There's a few of
sells.
them, I
he
don't know
sells.
why they're on TV.
He sells holy water, and he's like, touch the screen, and I will
No.
heal you, and I can tell, and people touch the screen, whatever. But one of the things, he got busted for this, and they made a movie called Leap of Faith with Steve Martin. They made a movie after this guy, and the guy's still doing the shit. But anyway, he had a thing, he would have an earwig in his ear, meaning a mic, somebody would be his wife would be in the back, going through the papers for the congregation, and going, there's a woman in a red dress, she has cancer. And he would go, I see, God is telling me there's a woman in a red dress, 2 women stand up in a red dress. Now he's like, you have cancer, and this woman comes up to him, and and you hear, they have the audio if you look it up on YouTube. His wife's going, no, it's not her, it's the other one, and he's going, well, man, and he can't talk to this woman because he knows nothing about her. He only knows the file that this girl filled out. And
See,
was
on
like,
the subject of psychics, that's
Yep.
why so many people have issues and have doubts about because
Yeah.
these people like that guy.
Which is why I always try to tell you ahead of time.
yeah,
And like, of course they're going to, we speak generically. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Of course we're going to be like, how are you? Well, that's what they're going to, I love you. That's what they're going to say. You know, there's going to be, but I will always ask for something to validate so that you know that it's them. And when people come to me, like I told you earlier, I only know your first name and your phone number, and that's it. And
Right.
I don't like to have communication. I only just send me a text. What
Yeah.
days do you want? That's it. I don't want to connect with you
Yeah.
until you come. With you, I really don't know a lot about you because she keeps it, because we knew we were going to
Yeah.
be doing this one day. So we keep it very, unless it's about the podcast, I don't know a whole lot about
Well-
you, which is great.
and that's where I could have been more open, but I could see how when you're excited, somebody, which you probably have happened, they just open
They
up.
go.
Oh yeah, my mom is here, and my dad, he lives in Colorado, and his grandpa died. Do you hear anything from that? Or I was going to ask about my aunt who's passed away, but I was like, no, she's.
I mean,
know.
you can, I will always allow people a lot for that at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
I'll always say, but I will cut people off when they start talking too much. I'm
Yeah.
like, you are talking too much.
Yeah.
You're giving it away. And so then I'm like, just say yes or no.
And that's why, in a way, I felt like, wow, it should be more I should be. And then I'm like, no, because my whole goal coming here also was don't sit out there and be like, so I was born in a small town. I was born a small black child, or whatever the joke
And
says.
then I will, like, as I was asking you and was having you elaborate on some things,
Yeah.
I would have cut you off if it was too much.
Right.
And so then you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have. I'm like, no, you're not giving
Yeah,
away
yeah,
anything.
yeah. Yeah.
Like there's some things I used to not let people say anything, and then it would hold the reading back.
Right.
And so I'd be like, and then there are those people that are like, don't say yes, no,
yeah.
And I'm like, no,
Give me a
you
little
need to
more.
say
Yeah.
something because I don't know the story, and if I'm trying to put it together, it's going to stop the reading.
Yeah.
And then there's that. Well, prove it to me. Prove it to me. It's like
There's
you're not going to get
Fine
anything.
line you're walking there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's
You
the
have to
thing,
be a
like I said,
participant.
with God, where you're like, oh, if you believe, then strike that tree down outside. And he's like, fuck you.
And it is about having faith, and that having faith means opening up enough and letting them
It's-
come through
Yeah,
to give you the gift of, this is a gift.
yeah,
It's a gift for you
yeah.
It was
to have a
interesting
conversation with your mom.
when you were doing the reading with my uncle. Is you've never seen my dad. Like sometimes when she gives.
Oh, yeah, you said never saw him with his brother being that
yeah, the-
personality.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my dad is like, he is a very jovial. He always is joking. Like
I had no idea he was like
because
that.
when he comes through for me, it's all. Even though I do get the confirmations that it is my dad.
He's more official, it seems like. Like
'cause
he's
he's
more of
my
a
dad.
father.
More of a dad, yeah.
But with these two, his personality, he was fun, he was silly. They were back and forth. Even it was almost like your uncle forgot for a minute that your dad wasn't sitting right there.
Yeah.
It was really
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really
Even at
fun.
the end, he's like, "All right." When she was like, "Okay," I guess he goes, "I guess this is where I have to pay you."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm gonna let my brother get the bill." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with me, when people, every time you go to a medium, they're all different. So you're gonna have a different experience. When people are brought to me from their loved ones to me, I believe it's for that conversation. So I usually will say it's like counseling with spirit, because a lot of times they're like what they were doing with your wife, trying to help your wife get through something.
Yeah.
Although she's not here, they're reaching her through you.
Yeah.
So that maybe they, it's like, this is the only opportunity we're going to get. Let's get in there.
But yeah, I could see where people would be like, it was like me. I thought like Alma put the tissues here, and I was like, okay, do I want to pull the tissues out?
well, I didn't know if those were going to be for
or-
you or for me, because she knows how I am. And
Right. Well, I saw you were getting
I
choked
start,
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I
cry
was
really
like,
easy.
and I'm like, okay, but also a thing of, like my other thing is, because are we going into the psychic stuff yet? Are we still
We're
on
gonna go
Patreon?
into my story,
Okay.
and I haven't completely decided because that ran a little bit long. But
Okay.
if I'm gonna, I may
Well, 'cause-
split it up or leave it all together.
Okay.
I'll decide.
Because I was going to go on to, then you got things like people go, oh, I'm reading, or whatever, and something that I want to bring
Go
up
ahead.
later.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and bring it up.
Yeah, we
So-
can just segue into.
Yeah.
Well, I figure
Unless you
right
wanna
at the
take-
end of my reading, you could just start there or
Yeah.
whatever. You're like, it's my fucking podcast, Phillip. This is not yours. You shut up.
No, I'm
So-
good.
No, go
Whatever,
ahead.
because this is a good conversation. I
So
love this.
the one of the things that maybe you can answer this. So Houdini, you know the story of Houdini. So Houdini, he was a escape artist.
Right,
blah, blah, blah.
right.
Then he started going.
Oh,
"Wait a
yeah.
Oh,
minute,
he
if
got
I'm-"
into psych.
Yeah, he
the
goes.
psychic
He
thing.
goes. If
He
I'm
wanted to
like
debunk them.
like he would like hide a key in his mouth
Right.
or hide it in his hand somewhere, and nobody knew, and everybody's like, "This guy's amazing," but he's really just like knows how to pick locks with a piece of
Which
metal that's on the chain.
Probably had influence on his skepticism towards.
Exactly.
Psychics.
So then he goes to psychics to be like, I'm going to figure out who's wrong. And when he's standing at a table at a big seance or sitting there and the table starts shaking, he's going, everybody else has their eyes closed and it's like, oh my God. He's looking under the table and seeing all the mechanisms and being like, this is fucking fake,
Right.
and marking that off.
Right.
And then go to somebody else and be like, this person, she lied to me.
I think
That's not.
that he wanted somebody to prove him wrong. Though.
So then he says when he dies, he gave a password. Only his mom had the word. And he said, Mom, after I die, go to the psychics and figure out if they give you that word, then it's real. And she went for years and was never able to. And that's why people still are like, we're going to call Houdini. And it's like, and my thing is, you never found the word. So now, for one, I just now thought of this, is he's maybe closed off and had no religious, no faith, no whatever. So he's not open to spirit. So when he dies, and he's rotting in the ground, and they're like, where, how come Houdini won't talk? How come my son won't talk to me? And then back then, all these phony psychics are like, oh, I got Houdini's mom. Well, I would be sweating bullets and like, I'm not going to know this word. Table, chair, I don't know.
Right. Well, that just goes to what I say at the beginning. Don't focus so much on something.
Right.
It's not going to be said. Well, one, spirit won't waste their time trying to prove that they're here.
Yeah.
This is a gift that they're giving to you. Do you want it or not? Because we have very little time to waste, and humans, you like to waste time.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that. But at the same time, like I always tell them, like, listen, this is tainted for people. So they need validation and knowing that you're there so that they can move forward and move knowing that you're with them. And they also know that. But I have to make it very clear. Don't focus on, like, my favorite thing is when I get up and go to the bathroom.
And they're still talking.
Mine too. Yeah, I like that. I like going to the bathroom.
I go to the bathroom. Like I had this one client. She was sitting on the couch. I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. They'll still talk to me. Don't worry. And I go to the bathroom, and I hear Brandon really loud. And so I come back out, and I'm like, well, this is really weird. Do you know because I always tell people at the beginning, names are not. I mean, I don't say I don't get them. I just say it's not my thing.
You got James Dean, you got Brandon, but not all the time. Yeah.
And so I'm like,
a J.
Yeah. I said, do you know a Brandon? Because I just heard Brandon really loud in the bathroom. And she just starts crying. She's like, oh my God, that's so amazing. I was right when you went in the bathroom. I said, Brandon, please just come through before I have to leave. And he did. Yeah. And he made sure to say, I'm Brandon. Yeah. Go out there and tell her I'm here. Yeah. And I was like, that's so crazy. Yeah. Or like they'll have me drink coffee and then I'll heat it up 500 times. And I'll be like, every time I come back from the kitchen, I had this one client, she kept, every time I left, she would say something to who was there with her. And every time I came back, I would say what they were saying. So I'm like, I swear to you, there's no bugs in this house. Yeah. I can't hear anything you're saying. And then I came back in and I said, hey, this is really weird. They just showed me, do you have a ring or something? Did you bring a ring? And she's like, literally has her hand still in her purse. And she was just getting ready to show them the ring.
There was Isaiah. Okay, so I think I've told this story before about Isaiah had lost his faith in God. Yeah. He was very young. And my sister had influenced that. Like, she had said, he said, the dogs go to heaven. And she was like, no, dogs don't go to heaven. And he was like, I don't want to have anything to do with God then. Yeah. So he closed himself off to that. So when he came to see Carlene, and he was still very young. Like, how old is he? I think he's like 18, 19.
Yeah.
And I think we were in like a
was he even
setting.
18 or 19? He might have been younger.
Yeah, I think he was still kind of young. It was maybe 17, 16. And you basically were like, I don't know what this is. And you kept going like this, and you're like, oh my God.
I'm petting a dog.
And I had never even said that to her.
Wow.
And she's like, and Patches came through like loud and clear. Yeah. And this is like what has changed my mind about how you treat animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they will come back.
Because he was like almost like a person.
A soul's a soul.
Coming back and giving him this message. And she's like, do you have something that you keep on your key ring or something? And he like, he just goes like this. And he pulls up his tag is on his key ring.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, but after that, like, this is why, for me personally, when people are like, oh, that's not from God, I don't think something that's not from God would
be that good.
Send you back towards God. Because Isaiah, after that reading, he was like, I believe in God again. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like that for me. I was like, oh, wow.
The people that come in my living room will say they leave feeling closer to God than going to church because it's all about faith. It's all about feeling the yummy, the love. It's
connected with the universe. Right. And
I mean, when you go to church, what God will shun you from your family if you're what is that religion where they love to shun people? Scientology, is that even a god or is that something else?
That's a written book by an author. Yeah. Speaking of, hang on, I got an idea. Go back to your passion. Create a religion. I got it.
Ron
Hubbard.
Yeah. Write a few books.
Yeah.
Oh, Amish. The Amish and Mennonite, and they love to shun people. Oh, you didn't do that right. Oh, you looked at a girl. Oh, you did this, huh?
They're not the only ones.
Right.
They love to shun.
They're not the only ones.
Yeah.
But what God would do that? And even Christians, Catholic, doesn't matter. They love to say, we
love to shun people.
Yeah.
Well,
I love shunning people.
Humans love, we are the judgmental ones. We are the ones who don't know how to love unconditionally. God loves unconditionally. God does not judge. He is not, if you get divorced, you're not going to heaven. That's you saying that. That's man-made bullshit. God does not do that. There was, one of the things that I was watching, she did it perfectly. It was one of the people that went to the other side. She died, went to the other side and came back. She said this love around her, like I often will say when I tell you what my experience of going to the other side, and God is there. And then all of a sudden, she sees this screen, and it was 3, 2, 1, and it's a review of her life. And it was all this amazing from birth till 31 of just good things. And she's like, okay, wait, where's all the mistakes and the bad stuff? And then later
all the
on,
stuff written in the book.
Yeah. And then it was, he gives her these big glasses, puts them on, and it's seeing things through God's eyes. 3, 2, 1. She's expecting to see, you're naughty. Here's the times you were. It was all the times that she did things with love. Helping a homeless person, listening to a friend, taking care of a puppy, rescuing a puppy, whatever. It was all the good things she did with love. The other side only is about love. God is about love. He is not about, oh, shame on you. That's forgiveness. Isn't that why we were baptized? Isn't that why,
Well, that's where we had something, my friend who shall remain nameless, Yvette, which my friend Alma here knows about Jehovah's Witnesses. But
right.
So my friend Yvette and Sergio. So my mom,
Yvette's I didn't know that. Oh, she's not anymore. Okay.
I don't know. She's not practicing. I don't know. I can't speak. I haven't seen them since they were here last. So I had my mom's memorial, and I said I'm going to show like photos. We're having it at a church, but it's not really. I'm going to have the preacher say a little bit of things, and Sergio goes, Yvette can't come because it's in a church. She can't go into a church. And I said,
that would be my mom.
And I said,
my mom would do the same
okay, like, I guess.
We don't all share the same God?
This is my thing. Here's my thing. This is interesting. So that happened on that day. So I was like, okay, it's memorial. She showed up afterwards. Sergio was there. Then we went to eat, and Yvette showed up, and we ate. Then after that, it was funny, too, thing about my mom, because you said you'd get with her. Not that you use sex toys, but when my stepdad got out of prison, she came to Casa Boutique to buy a bunch of sex toys. So she buys these sex toys.
She was really keeping it appropriate for us tonight.
She has a bag of
That's why.
Of
Hold
sex
on.
toys.
Pause for just a second.
Okay.
When I was getting hesitant and I was like, I just don't know what. She's explaining to me why now. She couldn't be her true self because of this.
She wanted to be.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry. Keep going.
No. So there was a picture of her in the limo that she went and picked up my stepdad in, and she's holding a dildo.
No.
And he's in the middle. They're laughing. Big rubber white dildo. And
I love her.
So there's a picture. So when I did the slideshow, I said I'm going to put that in there because that's my mom.
Yes.
I'm going to show that.
Right.
But I was like, oh shit, wait, I put that in there. I got to tell this preacher guy who's going to be saying a little bit of words like, is this okay? So I went up to him and I'm like, this is very uncomfortable. I don't know how to say this, but we're going to do a slideshow. It's all beautiful pictures. It's of my mom, how she was. And there's one of her with a dildo. She's fully clothed, nothing, but there's a dildo. I just want to warn you. He's like, okay. Like it's the weirdest thing anybody ever said. Okay. I said, all right.
Oh, my God.
So then the slideshow goes, and so it was funny. Anyway, that was the memorial. So then
That's
after
hilarious.
the memorial, now Yvette's dad dies. And I go to the church. They're going to have a viewing. It was a beautiful... Were you there? I didn't speak a word of Spanish. It was the most beautiful ceremony I've ever seen. The words were probably beautiful, but I couldn't understand a word.
Apparently they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was insane.
I couldn't understand a word of it.
That was pretty prominent.
Yeah.
Like that was...
And what was funny was I didn't know Yvette's grandma doesn't speak English.
Oh.
So I go up to her at the front and I'm like, hey, I just wanted to tell you Desi's a great guy.
Oh.
I love Desi. Like, he was great. Used to call me Ese Blanco. And I'm telling, and she just like, and like crying and like, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, then I find out she doesn't say anything back because she doesn't speak English. And I'm just there like, I didn't bring
That's
Yvette or
hilarious.
anything to translate. So I was like, okay. But anyway, at the end of that, it's toward the end, we're all celebrating, have a good time. His viewing, so he's there with open casket. Our friend Kivy shows up. Kivy's Jewish. His father is like a high priest. Calls Sergio, hey man, I want to stop by, give my condolences. Sergio goes, come on in. I can't.
What?
My religion, Jewish, the only dead person I can see is my father. I can't see any other dead people, and I can't go into that church.
Oh, for
So we had to
See,
go outside.
man-made rules and regulations are ridiculous.
So Kivy had to pull up outside, and we went out there to
Sorry.
talk to him. And my thing, the whole point of this is, what would Jesus do?
Jesus would go.
When Jesus is walking around preaching, he's not going, well, I don't know. You seem like you like this other girl.
He was hanging
I
out
think
with
you might be gay. He was hanging out-
Prostitutes,
yeah,
tax
exactly.
collectors.
Well, let me just tell you, if Jesus,
Podcasters.
Yeah.
if
all
Jesus
the
was to come right now
dregs
to
of
this earth,
society.
if he was to come right now to this earth, the very same thing that happened to him the first time would happen all over again, because all these people that celebrate Christmas
You're a
and Easter,
communist.
they would be telling him, you're a fraud, you're the devil, go away. They'd be shunning him.
Yeah.
And so nobody's learned anything. And that even if he showed up again and walked into a church and was rose the dead all over again, they would totally call him a sham.
Yeah.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
I believe that.
Yeah.
100%.
It's too bad. It is too bad we have learned nothing. And I often will use that same, walking in a church, because people will do, my dad did not go into, when my kids were being baptized, I was like, are you going to do, bread, wine, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, no, I can only do that in my church. I'm like, wait, but this is a Catholic church. I mean, it's Episcopalian, but
Yeah.
I mean, Roman Catholic, Episcopal, aren't we all in the same hood? I don't understand. And he's like, no, I can only do it at my church. And I'm like, I don't remember that rule, because I do not remember Jesus saying, this is my body, this is my blood, drink, eat. Well, hold on, everybody. Hold on. I want you to remember me and all, but you're going to have to pick a church, and you can only have it there. Oh, and you have to take special classes, and you have to be baptized. I don't even want you to dare eat this wafer.
Yeah.
And remember me unless
If you
you've been
switch
baptized.
churches, you have to get baptized again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're Mormon, you're in that for, you and Albert get divorced, you're stuck in Albert's religion until you have to be separated on this whole thing and then put together with your new husband. Congratulations on the new wedding.
Right. And then I'm going to burn the magical underwear.
None of this is true. None of it is true.
But it leads me to, me and Alma wrote down some movies.
Go ahead.
So Dead Zone, in that movie, I haven't seen it, but Christopher Walken shakes hands with a guy.
Yeah.
And through being a psychic, understands this guy's going to be president and do bad things.
Oh.
So the whole movie, I think, is him trying to stop that from happening because he sees that. So that's one of the falsities, right? Or could you shake my hand
In
and
Hollywood.
tell me
Yeah.
who I'm going to be?
Well, when I first was
Like
doing
I was going
this
to
for
bring
other
the
people.
angel clock. If I would have brought the angel clock and you touched that, would that have been different? Would that have brought something?
Sometimes, and there are people who, I'm an empath, so I mean, there are times that when I was younger, I'd go and touch buildings, or there's times when they were first bringing the energies in really strong, that I would go, this is how I would read people. I would grab their hands and then pull the energy off. And then I would read them or be like, there's something wrong with your kidneys. Oh, this is happening, or something like that. Then it came to like, I would just pull from like their center. And so no, that is not very far-fetched.
Yeah.
Can I just
That can
tell
happen.
you about the probably one and only psychic moment I've ever had? Probably has to do with the whole empath thing. But I was working at that one place that was super toxic. And this girl that I was working with, she came to hand me a piece of paper, and she was a little sketchy. She goes to hand me this piece of paper. Our hands touch. In that moment, I literally had this knowing.
It's a knowing.
Talk to my boss about me.
What?
Wow.
Like there was a conversation, like some sort of whatever. So like that day, I was like, did you have a conversation with the boss about me? Like it was that kind of feeling. But I didn't say that to her.
Yeah.
Not even 2 hours later, I go to give my boss something, and she's like, close the door.
Oh, no.
Wow.
And I sit down, and she's like, well, I just had a conversation with so-and-so, and blah, 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 this and this, that. I was like, oh, my God, I literally felt this. Like, I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so,
crazy. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's like they were so. Yeah. I wonder if it's that nerve thing of like, I'm nervous to be around Alma because I just talked about her and it's out there and I'm putting it out here because I'm so nervous.
Is that okay?
Garage door.
Oh, is that what it said?
Open.
We finally unhooked all of our shit. We had a Cove. And I loved it because I felt rich. Garage door open, back door open, front door open. I'm like, sweet. Or back door, like you said. Yeah, she loves that.
Back door.
Yeah.
Back door
Alma's like,
open.
no. Carlene's like, come on in. Depend on how many. No Magnum condoms here. So,
Back door.
Okay.
Closed
so then my
forever.
wife's like,
Exit
we're
only.
unhooking that. Plus, because the one time we hooked it up the first day and the cops had to show up because the dogs knocked something off. So they thought that it was a window break. And I told them, no, I'm looking on the ring. There's nothing there. And then I was like, don't send the police. And then the cops show up. And the cops are trying to talk to me through the ring. My 7 dogs are barking on the inside of the house. I'm at work
Here's
and
the
I'm
next
going.
thing is that you're afraid that the cops are going to shoot your dog.
Right.
Well, I was like, no, it's the guy was like, what? The cop was like, what? I'm like, false alarm. He's like, okay, and he left. And then we get a thing, okay,
Yeah,
$95. Well, $95
$95.
now it's like $95.
Wow.
And it was like, this you won't be charged because it was false alarm. It's your first. If it happens again, and
Where were we, you guys?
I'm sorry, me and the wife are like, no. So
Oh, wow.
we're talking,
Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay,
we
go
do
ahead.
this all the time.
I know. Well, trust me, I listen.
But
to
we
the
have
show.
stories.
But
too.
we
Yes,
can
yes,
pass
I'm
mine
sorry.
up because we kind of already touched
Well-
on it. I do want to.
Well, we have some other movies. Okay, Ghost.
Oh well, that's what I tell people when I'm explaining how they work through me. I will often say, "Have you seen the movie Ghost?" Because it's kind of like that, not so dramatic, but it's like them channeling through me. How
But
they
you'll
did
fully
movies.
kiss Demi Moore, right?
I mean,
Yeah, you'd just
don't
be like,
think
I
she's
think I sent your
kinda-
husband. You'd lie to her.
I kind of wish it would. I'd kiss another woman if they were not.
Charlize Theron or something.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
I'd kiss Demi Moore.
You like her?
Yeah,
She's not
Back
mine.
then, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
back
I
then.
don't know. She's
no,
okay.
she's
She
pretty
still
fun.
How
looks
dare
gorgeous.
we? Let me
but-
tell you a shaming story that Alma and Yvette said one time. I thought of it today. My wife's
no.
listening to a song and she's like, I go, who is this? She goes, it's Selena.
Oh no! Don't
I go,
even.
I
bring
want
that
Do
up.
it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Embarrassing.
I go, they're playing a Selena song on here? She's like, yeah. And it was, I go, it's English. I didn't even know. So they're talking about that woman that killed Selena.
Oh.
And they're like, she says she was raped. And Alma or Yvette goes, have you seen this woman?
Oh no!
I'm like, did you guys, I go,
That's
they're right.
hilarious.
But did you realize what you said?
That's hilarious.
And she's like, oh my God,
Like,
no, I didn't realize.
like people that rape people, like actually care about that. It has nothing to do with how you look.
Yes.
Speaking
it's a disease.
back onto Ghost.
Okay, sorry.
They
yes.
I also will describe when I'm talking about that third dimensional energy, which is what we are. I will say, because I have proof of that icky energy, right? That we pull off of, that they pull off of you, that I'll say, you know, in ghosts, when those dark shadows are coming out of the ground,
Coolest part.
That can, you know, that's kind of what that darkness is. It's like making you feel icky or depressed, or drug addicts. People that are drug addicts have hit that, and that dark energy is like, oh yeah, you're mine now. So it makes it hard for light to get through when those shadows have reached them.
And that's why I think AA, my buddy's in AA, and that really helps. It's religion based, in a way, you know, it's faith based, but he's like, I'm not a religious person, but it helps them, you know, to walk the better, like 12 steps, like all that stuff.
And elevate their vibration so that darkness can't get to them. Because now they're living a higher life, like a higher elevated vibration life. Go ahead, next.
I don't mean to lead this thing because it's her podcast, but we did write these down while you were peeing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You're a peeing, get it?
So don't remind her about peeing.
First of all, the main one is everybody goes, oh, if you're a psychic, why haven't you won the lottery yet? Why don't you know the numbers?
That's just not something that I don't know. I often ask the same thing. Like, give me the freaking numbers. I want to win.
I hear you. We wrote these two down, but they're kind of silly. One was 6 cents.
I can't remember that one. That was a little boy that says, I
so
see
you
dead
didn't know,
people.
Spoiler alert, everyone.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis is dead from the beginning.
Right.
He got shot by Danny... Okay. Who's the guy from New Kids on the Block?
Plot twist at the end, in case you haven't ever seen 6
exactly.
Sense. Sorry.
Who's the guy from New Kids? Danny... Mark Wahlberg. Dan Wahlberg. Danny Wahlberg shoots him, and he dies, but we don't know that. It cuts to black. All of a sudden, now it's a year
Danny
later.
Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Really?
He's like, looks like he's on drugs. Like, in the bathroom.
God, I need to rewatch this movie.
So then Bruce Willis is hired or something to take care of this, to help this kid out of his, like, he's kind of like weird and seeing dead, and he says, I see dead people. And that's the biggest thing in the line.
Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he does see dead people.
Yeah. And the thing is, Bruce Willis is dead, and he's seeing Bruce Willis. He's talking to Bruce Willis.
Which
you don't know it until the end that,
But Bruce Willis is like the helper.
But he's dead.
No, the kid's a helper. Bruce Willis is just dead, and the kid's talking to him. And you think Bruce Willis is helping the kid, but he's trying to help him deal with death. And accept it.
That was the plot
so what's
twist
the question? Could that be true?
I don't know. Our question was, I don't know. We were just writing down.
Talking about Hollywood and the way it portrays psychics.
Because then we have Minority Report, which is like 3 siblings who have the more, empathetic or whatever, where they can know when a crime's going to happen.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Minority Report?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's like set in the future.
I'm
and
have to write this one down.
They've kind of like encased these 3 siblings, and they're using them so that they can see crimes in the future, crimes before they happen.
They know if you're angry at, say, your husband and you're going to go shoot him, they sense that. So then the cops roll out to the house before you break in to shoot him, and then they grab you, put you into a halo, put you in prison. So stopping crimes
before they happen.
That one I'm going to call bullshit.
And
that one's like the furthest from any of these.
Exactly. But what's fun about that is it's one of those, it's your will. Like, you may chicken out when you bust open the door and you have flashes of your husband and you having a good time.
The
and
free
you may
will
not
thing.
shoot him.
Yeah.
But they arrest him and take him in prison just because
their thought of it.
The 3 of them saw that this happened.
Yeah, no.
So, but anyway.
Though I say that one's the furthest from the ghost, and as for like spirit coming to somebody and saying, hey, I need you to go and help. I could see that. Actually, I could see that one happening.
What about, so on Ghost, that guy teaches him how to push a penny. You know, he starts with a penny. Can they do that? Have they?
Oh, they move things.
Seen things move?
Yeah. Okay. Like, have you ever like lost your keys and been like, I know they were right here? They actually do mess with you that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's what was good about that movie Ghost. I'm not crying. I just choked on my wine. That's what was. Yeah, you're crying about Ghost, Phillip. Stop. It's okay. You love Patrick Swayze, and not as much as my mom loves James Dean.
Obviously, she's a big James Dean.
I'm going to be looking forward to that podcast.
Yeah, now I have to do it. Yeah, Mom, sorry that podcast was canceled. We're doing Stir Crazy and Blues Brothers.
She just called you a shit.
So
you, that little shit. Listen to him.
There was a place.
You are your mother's child.
A side thing about my mom and dad. So there's a place called Gomper. Again, I don't mean to, just like with the Dateline, just like this bitch better be dead. We know that that's sad.
Right. I'm going to make a t-shirt. This bitch better be dead.
Let's do it.
But with this was, there used to play a place called Gompers.
Right.
There still is. You see them.
Right.
And it's for
handicapped people.
Right. And they make them special shoes. So my mom would see my dad wearing these because he had these 12-inch shoes, right? He wears 12-inch shoes. Mm-hmm. And they'd be like big or they'd just look weird, and she'd be like, "Those are some Gomper shoes."
Oh my god.
And my dad would be like, "No, yours are Gomper shoes," and
then that's hilarious.
So whenever I see a Gomper truck drive by, I think of them. So it's good.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, not good for the handicapped people. But
all right.
Well, anyway, that's all of that.
You're not going to read your story. I'm going to just
I think we should just. Mine's okay not to read
because you did the reading.
So this woman that we can't name, I guess, but I used to think she was real. She used to be here in Phoenix.
Oh,
yes.
Can I just give a little bit on that?
Yeah,
I would think so. I mean, I would hope so. Alma, can we?
There are some. There are some.
Why do you keep acting like
because it's your show? Me. It's your show, and I'm just hogging it, being like, tell that story.
Sure, go ahead.
And now let me tell you about Minority Report.
So, there are some.
Yes,
and we weren't going to mention her name, but there are some.
She had.
It was a good show in the 90s.
She had a TV show and stuff.
Or the 2000s.
And that was totally fake.
Well, what I'm learning is
I loved it.
But it was.
I still watch it. But I still watch it, even though it's not.
And this will help me segue into my story.
Okay, good.
A psychic helping solve a true crime.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. And she may, I don't not doubt that she has gifts. I just think that sometimes
elaborated a little more.
I don't
the truth.
learn from the physical world for a reason. I learn from spirit. And it's because the physical world likes to elaborate on their own ego and make things more difficult than they are, more complicated instead of, it's very simple. If it's too complicated to understand, it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's Occam's razor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
And it's a thing of you call I got diarrhea, I swear, I can't be in because it explodes.
Too much explanation.
All they need to know,
yes, too much.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
I was on my way in and I had to turn around. I had to stop at QT and the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was giving they were talking about something in one of the things I was watching, which I do highly recommend. So maybe we can post those things. Mm-hmm. But anyway, she was saying how that people, when they go to the other side, now Sylvia Brown would say everybody when they go to the other side is 30. Well, I don't want to be 30. Mm-hmm. I personally like my 20s. But we are not in a physical form. We don't look like this. So when we go to the other side, there's not really an age. Plus, if we've been here, let's say we've been here 5 times, I could be 500 and something years old on the other side. There's just there's no sense of that time like we do here over there. So then, Dubois, what's her name?
Dubois.
Alison Dubois. She was saying in this clip about everybody they choose to be the age that they were at their happiest. So if it was
Sylvia Brown.
No, this is Dubois.
Sylvia said 30.
30. Okay. Now, she's saying that this is people who are at their happiest. So if it was when you had your child, or if it was when you got married, or it was when you got your first new pair of shoes, whatever it is, that's the age that you are. Mm. Again, there is no sense of time, and it isn't like that. It's not that complicated. You don't have your physical body. We don't come through that way. When I'm doing a reading, like your mom coming through, and their personality comes through and the things that they say, I may get somebody who has a total potty mouth. So they'll be like, oh, like that one that your friends that came and they were like, puta.
Oh, yeah.
I may get something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's not how they typically will speak on the other side. Mm-hmm.
It's like how you might have remembered them.
Right. They're coming through how you will recognize them.
Yeah.
Because if I said anything
it's like her
else.
uncle. Yeah.
Right. If I say anything else, you're gonna be like, that's not my mom. I don't know who that is. Because that's not the person that you remember.
Yeah.
So when people are like, well, does she still have this? Does she still, like, if they show me that they were once in a wheelchair, but now they're walking, if they show me that they're dancing around and I say they're no longer in a wheelchair, they're walking and they're happy.
That's kind of the way my dad came through, where he was rubbing it in my uncle's face.
Oh, he's not.
I'm young.
Yeah. So
I'm young again, cabrón.
Yeah.
He sounds like George Lopez did that.
So if they're showing me they no longer have their ailments, that again, because we remember them like this, but they're now this light that can fly all over the place, and they have this love, and they don't have ailments, and there's no hatred, and there's no illness, and there's no.
We're stuck in these meat suits.
We're stuck here.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. I truly believe this is hell, and we go to one place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I did want to say that, because you do have to be careful when you are inhaling things, like even the things I was watching. This one, though, it's called Superhuman. Watch it. It is.
And that's with her?
Freaking amazing. No, that is something different. It's about, you had said knowing.
That's on Netflix?
Knowing.
I think it's on Prime.
Okay.
And I think we all have that moment in our life where we have a knowing.
Right. We have a sense of knowing. So when people ask, like, how did you know when you went to the other side that those were your grandparents who I'd never met? And I was like, it was a sense knowing. So it's like being in a room and your back is turned and your husband is standing there for the longest time, and all of a sudden you're like, you sense that somebody is standing there, and you know that it's him.
Or like when you're having a dream. Like sometimes when I have dreams, people don't always look like who they are, but I know who they are.
Right. You have a knowing.
Yeah.
And that's how our souls work on the other side. Our souls are how our souls are supposed to work here, but we have that free will crap and the physical stuff. Oh, can I just mention one more thing? Because I want to make sure people know this. Some people think, some of these professionals believe that everything is a vibration. And so like this table really isn't a table. It's just vibrational energy that make a table. Okay, bullshit. This is a physical world that has physical things in it. Okay, we have physical things in a physical world. Okay. This is a table.
Wait, we're not in the Matrix?
No, we're not.
Drink some. Yeah.
And
have another drink.
There's an energy field. That's why it comes away. There's an energy field around it, but it isn't what people think.
But this is a fucking table.
This is a table, and it is a physical table.
I can't try to will my hand through the table.
Yeah, we can't vibrate enough.
You can try all you want.
Yeah.
But on the other side, everything is vibrational energy.
Yeah.
And so, and all the different realms, and you can, like I said, your mom could be here. She could go through that wall, and there's a portal, and she could be, so if I'm on the other side and I'm thinking, I want to stick my feet in the ocean and swim with the dolphins. And as fast as I'm thinking that, I am manifesting it, and I'm in the ocean with the dolphins because I've created that in that realm where I'm at. That's something we can do here too. But because we have free will and the physical world we have to relearn. You know, when people are saying law of attraction, manifest what you want, we actually already are wired to do that.
Yeah.
But we have all this other stuff.
It's
here.
Also just positive thoughts, some of that. Like the secret is just hope for that good parking spot and you'll get it. And something that I wanted to bring up real quick before I forget. You should write down to maybe do a thing on remote viewing, because that's what that reminded me of. And
shit, that's in here too.
Okay, so my story. I just want to say that I ran into this whole CIA remote viewing.
Shoot,
all that
that's
stuff,
in
and
here.
it's like it's
MK Ultra.
It's its own fucking story. Yeah. So I had to just separate it because I needed to focus on one thing.
I really want to do
I would be all over the place.
I think we should do my thing then, because it's in here.
All right.
Because I did it with Aiden. I didn't even know it was a thing. And God, are you snoring? Or?
Yeah.
I guess we're
Boring.
her now.
But anyway, yes, that's in here with the CIA. That's part of that
This
superhuman.
is the
It's
best
on there.
conversation, and it's not just because I'm drinking wine.
No.
No, I think this is
Oh.
the best conversation. I might even just make it a big old giant 3-hour.
I mean, it is
podcast.
pretty interesting.
Yeah,
And
I love it. I love it.
most people are asking me all these
All right.
questions anyway.
Oh, sorry.
All right, guys, we are going to take a potty break. You're going to hear some music right now. I love your shirt. The last podcast on the left. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, have you guys listened to him?
Yeah.
My wife didn't like My Favorite Murder because she said those girls were too chatty. Like she wanted them to get right to the murder.
Get to the. We're a little chatty.
Yeah.
I know,
mean,
but then you get to the murder.
I listen to some where I'm like, okay, come on, let's go to it. And then I think, shit, do people do that when they listen to us?
They absolutely. Oh, can we talk about? Wait.
Oh,
one,
wait.
two.
Yes, do it.
The first thing is, we didn't get to this in the beginning. We have to give a huge shout out to Ellie because she just graduated from college.
Allie,
Yay.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
With a 3.3 grade point
Yes.
average.
Wow.
Yes. So that happened this week. And then also,
Or 3.2 or 3.4 or something. Anyway, it was a good grade point average.
tomato.
Yeah.
It was fucking great. All right, so anyway, go ahead.
All right. And then we got
We got a comment that was so awesome.
on our YouTube, one of our YouTube videos for John Benet Ramsey. It was part 2.
Oh, the father wrote you.
No.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would,
No, it was.
that would have been awesome.
I mean, we always ask for comments, good or bad. So
And this wasn't, listen, I am thankful that we got a comment.
right,
And I just think it's hilarious the kind of comment we got.
it had to do with spiders. We need to do our research.
We need to research our arachnids. Arachnids. Thank you.
Yes, always.
When did that come up in the story?
Because the web, the cobweb.
Oh, that was
in
by the window or whatever.
And
yeah.
and I was like, and I'm not the only one that said it. Other investigators and stuff had also
Right.
said it's possible that, I mean, spider webs do build their webs quite fast. I mean, my backyard is proof.
I
But
I
this
always feel
guy's-
bad about tearing them down because they put so much work into it.
Right.
But,
And then
yeah,
they'll
the
be,
spiders.
but they have no problem. Like there's one above my door that I can knock it down, go inside, put the broom away, go back outside, and it's already there again.
Yeah.
So this
This guy.
person's contention was, besides the fact that we have to
Do our
research a little bit
research.
better,
Yeah.
was that spiders not very active in the winter. And I agree. But also, house spiders are a little bit different.
Yeah, this was
house
inside.
spiders and outside spiders.
So he
Are
went
not
through
the
a
same.
whole preamble of
We need
No.
to do our
Spider
research, and the spiders aren't very active. He said spiders are not very active in the winter. Do your research.
Okay. And I'll give you that, sir.
Yes,
We did not
I
thoroughly research.
no good
spiders.
show except the spider thing. I think blah blah blah. Just do your research.
Yeah.
Yes. So we will
Maybe you
do
should
better.
do a whole show on spiders.
We will strive to do better.
Scratch your
Maybe we
story.
should
I'm going to bring up Wikipedia on my phone, and we're
and
going
we'll
to
talk
do
about
spiders.
spiders.
Yeah.
An arachnid is an
Yeah.
8-legged. Okay.
All right. When we bring Phillip back on our next show, we are going to talk about
We'll
spiders.
do arachnophobia.
I
Movie,
guarantee
and
Absolutely.
We'll talk about
I
it.
love
There's
that movie.
arachnophobia, and I guarantee that there
John
is
Goodman.
invasion of the
Then the
spiders.
guy will write and go, there was nothing about John Benet. John Benet is a winter death, not a...
I said John Benet, not John Goodman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you did. I said John Benet. Yeah, but that's funny. The way we're...
I'm saying, I'm speaking as the
I know.
commenter.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought you were asking, am I so drunk that I might have said, that movie with John Benet? And I'm like, oh, I want to see that movie.
Holy shit, that looks really loud.
Wow.
Oh
we
my
supposed to be that
god!
loud?
Maybe because we're all three talking,
Okay.
or laughing, or
right.
saying something.
Okay.
Or
I'm
doing
going to
something.
just jump into my story.
What's another, what do you call it? What's a book? Not a dictionary, but a
The thesaurus.
thesaurus. Yes. You're the thesaurus.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
was that what it was? I was too close?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
it was
I'm
just like
sorry.
almost
oh,
like.
okay. Well, look, they're spiking.
That's
anyway.
okay.
Go ahead.
That's okay.
All right.
All right. I am going to get
We're finally
into my
going
story.
to do this.
Yes, and it has to do with psychics. It's about Etta Smith and the murder of Melanie Uribe. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, but the
Sounds
thing just
familiar.
made you go.
Arriba.
All right, so keeping with the theme of psychics, more specifically psychic mediums, helping solve murders and cases, I found this story. So I know there are a lot of people out there that cringe when you mention psychics, and we've already talked about this. And as I was like going through the comment sections of some of these stories, and even like Reddit, whatever, there are people that have really strong opinions about psychics. So I was just like, so I have to acknowledge the fact that there's probably people that listen to this show that are like,
It's okay.
So
I mean, listen, I always say Jesus took some pretty harsh comments too himself.
Right.
So
On
go for it.
YouTube?
And usually, on YouTube. And it was probably...
especially when he didn't do his research on spiders.
Yeah, well, he should have done his research on spiders. But a lot of it is fear.
Right.
People are afraid of the unknown and what they don't know.
You got your skeptics, and then you've got your people that just
the religious people that don't really
they're
know what it
agnostic
says.
or just don't have any belief in afterlife or anything spiritual or...
You know what happens when I don't believe in something that others believe in? I just don't say a damn thing about it.
Exactly.
Why not? You just let people be people.
Exactly. Well, anyways. All right. Let's see. I do want to mention the fact that I want to do a story about the FBI and the CIA and all that. But
we are going to cover all that.
We're going to save it for later. On December 17th, 1980, Etta Smith was working as a shipping clerk at an aerospace.
At an Aerosmith concert?
That's awesome. Yeah, she's like, dream
I've gone to Aerosmith.
dream on,
He's awesome in concert. He gets up close and personal. You always feel like,
moves the mic around with the
Make
scarf
sure
on
everybody
it.
feels special in the audience.
I never see murder happening.
Right.
With
No.
Aerosmith.
So she was working as a shipping clerk at an aerospace company, Lockheed-Martin in Burbank, California. So she's listening to a news story about a woman who'd gone missing, 31-year-old Melanie Uribe, a nurse and mother who had not been seen for several days. Okay, guys. I'm like, I don't know how many glasses of wine in, and that is a really large bottle of fucking wine that we
It's a big bottle. Yeah.
And
You
I
two were drinking
probably-
it away while I
I
was
probably
talking.
finished it almost by myself.
Did you?
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably,
Yeah.
because you were like, let them talk.
Yeah, I
Let
was listening to
Carlene
you
read
guys.
him while
Yeah.
I'm just going to put a straw in
I
this.
felt like an
She
intruder
put a
into that
nipple
whole
on the
thing.
end of that bottle
And I was
and
like-
was just like...
One of those that you see on Facebook with the wine glasses at the end of the bottle. She's just like, yummy.
Anyways, so Melanie Uribe worked as a nurse at Pacoima Hospital in Burbank, California. She was known to be a reliable and punctual person. So when she didn't show up for her shift on December 15th, 1980, it was an immediate red flag. And when she didn't show up or return their calls by the end of her shift, they called the police.
Nobody's going to know if I'm dead in my house for
That's what I was
2
like.
weeks. They're
I
going to
think
be
back
like...
on my jobs, who would have called the police if I didn't? They would have
show
been
up.
like, "Fuck that bitch, we're
Yeah.
writing her
Yeah.
up,
She's
and
fired.
Call,
she's
no
fired."
show. Yep.
And then the people are like, shh, I talk to her every day. My house, they'd be like, I talk to her like once in a while.
Sometimes I
something
see
might
her.
be
Especially
wrong.
1980, where
My
it was
neighbors would be like,
landlines.
sometimes she creeps out like a mole and grabs her freaking Amazon
Yeah.
purchase, and then she just like slides
Scurries
it
out,
back into
scurries
the
out.
house. I hope nobody saw me.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
I don't care anymore. I walk out in my underwear just to grab the shit. I'll be like getting ready for bed.
Do you do a
it's in the
pose 'cause
morning,
you know somebody's
and I'm
got
like,
you on their
I'm at the
ring?
My wife's like, honey, there's a naked guy out there stealing her bag. I'm like, it's me, honey. She's like, oh, never mind.
I'm a visual person, so
But
I
yeah,
can
part of
literally
me
see him.
Part of me thinks like I should,
Yeah.
because someday like our neighborhood will be more full. But
Hmm.
right now it's just the Indian people from India living
Yeah.
across the street. They're
Dot
from
not
America.
further.
They're,
actually
yes,
from
how
India.
dare you? Selena and so I'm just thinking all of a sudden they're gonna be like, our child was out and saw you in your underwear. But I'm like, but they're like boxer short underwear type. Anyway, boxer briefs, whatever. Go ahead.
Now we have more.
Well, now I was
information.
picturing tidy whities,
Right. Now we know.
tidy
Oh,
whities.
yeah, no, that's
A little
more
hole
white.
in the butt.
Yeah.
That's more white trash. But as I pulled
brown
in here,
stain.
I saw a couch out on the street, and I was like, "Oh, I feel like home."
Okay. All right. So. Oh my God.
So this woman's
Witnesses.
a nurse.
Yeah.
She hasn't showed up to work.
Yes. And witnesses had seen a woman abducted by two men in a truck, and it had been determined that this was Melanie.
That could have been a date for me. They'd be like, "Oh, she
Was-
finally went on a date. Oh, with two of them. Good
She was
for
like,
her.
Here,
Good
kitty, 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 kitty.
Was she pulling into work, or was she? Where did these guys take her?
I didn't find that.
Oh, okay.
All right. So as she was
Do your
listening
research.
to, I know. God.
Oh, what kind of spiders were around?
Yeah. The winner.
As she was listening to
Is
the
it those
news
big
story-
Palo Verde bugs?
Oh my God. I hate those things.
Ooh, those are the worst thing. Those are worse than roaches. Those do not. Those you could put one on each
those
foot.
are the stink bugs
Yeah.
when you kill them.
You could put one on each foot, and they take you to work in the morning.
One time in band camp.
Yeah. Took a fluid in your pussy.
I tried to
It's
kill
amazing.
one in my backyard with a shovel, and it would not die. It flipped over, and I'm like, okay, it's dead.
And he
Woke up in the
stopped
morning.
the shovel.
One time I thought somebody threw a rock at our window, and I went out to the porch.
No.
And it was like this. It was like this big.
Yes, they're huge.
Yeah.
And when I got up in the morning, it was,
It was this
gone.
big.
I was
Like
gonna
anybody
say, for the podcast audience, I was about the size
Was
of
it
your
really
fist.
that
or
fat?
two fists.
Yeah.
Was it like this?
Two of my
long?
little fists.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay,
more
we're
sense. They are
obviously
fuckers are
having
huge.
A good time.
All right.
They
You're
are
welcome,
fucking huge.
everybody. You can use them. They could take you to Flagstaff and back. You just put
those-
them on your feet.
Are those roaches?
No.
Oh,
You're saying cicada. Oh,
No, they're
but they're
Palo
like
Verde.
roaches, but they're black.
They're the black, yeah.
the
and they're-
ones with the big,
they have
Right, the big
wings. They
pinchers.
fly.
Right.
the big.
They
black-
drive?
They fly. Yeah, they drive.
They might drive.
Look out, Phillip. Here comes.
Dude, I've had roaches so big that I've like walked into the bathroom and thought I interrupted them taking a shower. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
You ever had the roaches that you thought couldn't fly, and you go to kill them on the wall, and they fly at you?
Yes, they come right at you.
And then all of a sudden you know karate.
Yeah. I know how to jump up on a chair and scream like a girl. That's what I know.
No, but these suckers, man, you keep hitting them, and they're like hard as rock. They don't die. You know, I think roaches are aliens, but these are even.
Well, you know, you can put a roach in a microwave, and he won't.
No.
Die. You open it up, he'll come crawling.
They are
right out.
aliens.
They could live through a whole nuclear explosion.
I'm gonna try that one day.
She had a hard time with explosion.
That's what he said.
Anyway.
Witnesses had seen women abducted by two. Okay.
Nobody's gonna know what the
All right.
story's about.
They'll know. I
All right,
remember.
back to Melanie, who had been abducted as
A
she
nurse.
was listening to the news story. Oh, this is talking about Etta, not Etta James, Etta Smith.
Melanie must be the psychic then.
Yes. No,
Okay.
Etta is the psychic.
Oh, Edda's the psychic. Okay.
We've lost the story.
Melanie
sorry.
is the nurse.
Melanie's the nurse that
Okay.
was missing.
Okay. Yeah.
Etta's the
I was,
psychic.
Okay.
Okay. got
Or,
it.
as she claims, not the psychic.
Okay.
But you will find out.
Okay.
As she was listening to the news story, she had a mental thought. And in her words, quote unquote, it was a mental thought, but it was as if someone were speaking to me. She's not in a house. Because I guess, like,
That does happen.
what was happening in the news story, they said, oh, they think she might be held up in a house or something to that effect.
Okay, can I just pause
And
you for a
she
second?
had a voice in her head that
No,
clearly said
That really
she's
does
not in a
happen.
house.
Yeah, that happens to me. Like they'll show and they'll be like, the boyfriend. They've cleared the boyfriend, and in my head, I'm hearing, it is the boyfriend. It's the boyfriend, and so I'll be like, okay, did somebody just tell me the boyfriend killed her? And they're like, yeah. Then 6 months later, they're like, it was the boyfriend.
Yeah.
So in her mind, she
So,
hears
yes.
this voice. She's not in a house. After that thought registered, it was as if I saw a picture. I saw a canyon area. I saw a road. I saw a curving. I saw a dirt path. I saw shrubbery. and I saw white through the shrubbery. I could not clearly see what the white was, but it was something distinctively white. And I thought, well, if what I'm experiencing is the possibility of where... I'm sorry, guys. I'm so done.
It's making sense.
I should have a bottle of wine.
Well, if what I'm experiencing is the possibility of where this person could be, maybe the white I see is her uniform.
Ooh.
Knowing that she was a nurse. All right. Now, mind you, Etta had never had any kind of psychic anything happen to her before.
Oh,
but
what?
this experience...
She wasn't a medium.
No.
Wow.
Was so clear and so compelling that she couldn't let go of it. And every time she tried to forget it, it kept popping back up.
Right. That's spirit screaming at you.
Yeah. So she's like, this is literally her words. I couldn't just let it go because I kept wondering if this person, oh my God, sorry, if this person needed help and if their life depended on that help, it would be very wrong of me not to do something. So on her way home, she's literally fighting with herself. Like, should I go to the police? Should I not go to the police? No, they're going to think I'm crazy. She's having this internal battle. And then she finally just takes the road to the police department. And she gets there and they're not accustomed to working with psychics at all.
Well, a lot of times you get accused of being a contributor to the crime.
Hold that thought.
Well, now, also, though, she's not a psychic, so that would seem like it would have
even worse
less credibility because you're going, I just had a vision of, and someone's going to go, well, it was a vision. Like,
really? A vision, huh? Sure.
So, we
were doing air quotes right there for you folks.
Just so you guys know. We have to illustrate.
That was really to let them know you didn't have to quote it. It was
for the people that are not watching, which is pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
They were skeptical of Etta's story and noted that her security clearance that she had with Lockheed-Martin was pretty high up there. So they were like, okay, maybe we'll give her a listen. She met with now retired Los Angeles police detective Lee Ryan, and he says, air quotes, I gave her a lot of credibility based on the fact that she came in on her own. She indicated her conscience was bothering her, which triggered a response in me that possibly her conscience was bothering her because maybe she knows more than she's telling us. But then again, maybe she is in fact sincere and real. So let's treat her in that light until we find out otherwise. So based on that information, she gave him information from her vision. They were able to pinpoint an area in Los Angeles County called Lopez Canyon. This is where she thought Melanie might be found. Detective Ryan told her he would send someone out. However, she had no idea whether Melanie might still be alive. She didn't know.
Right, you don't know usually.
So, and she couldn't trust them enough. She thought maybe they were going to be like, okay, whatever.
Listen,
bitch.
most of the time they won't. They'll tell you they're going to do something and they don't.
So she leaves there and she's like, you know what?
I'm going to go check it out myself. Yeah. That's what I did with Jessie.
Yeah. So she goes home first and her kids are like, where have you been? And she tells them and they're like, we want to go with you. So she takes her two kids and she takes a drive up to Lopez Canyon to have a look. Okay, so she still couldn't explain where these thoughts were coming from. In her words, she said, I felt trauma. I felt scared. It was like an energy that was like tingling inside of me. It was sort of like you feel when you get an adrenaline rush. The feelings forced Etta to keep searching. Soon she spotted some fresh tire tracks. This is up in Lopez Canyon. Oh, and then she also says that they drove up to Lopez Canyon. When they got up there, she steps out of the car. She said she experienced an intense feeling of dread. She was absolutely sure that Melanie had at least been there in that spot that they pulled off on.
How, real quick, how did your feeling feel when you shook your friend's hand? Well, that lady, not your friend. The lady at work. Did you see her talking to the boss? Did you feel it? Or did you see it play out in your head?
I don't know. It was
Or
just
did
like
you just
instant.
have
It was
a
just like
feeling?
knowing.
It was just
It
a
was just
feeling.
like
Sense
I
of
knew.
knowing.
Yeah, it was just like instant.
It's
'Cause
an
I'm wondering if it
intuitive.
was the
It's an
same.
intuitive feeling.
Yeah, I don't know that I saw a picture. I just it was just like
You just like, this bitch has been talking.
yeah,
Bitches get stitches.
yeah, something like that. I was like, you bitch.
Sometimes, like with Kelsey, it was for me. She was giving me all kinds. She made me feel cold to let me know that it was winter.
Kelsey was the last show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she showed me, so I had a vision of an aerial view of trees, but she also would tell me and show me that she was taken within a mile radius of her house. She gave me the feeling of another person, and then it was like, oh wait, she's pregnant. So it was all like, oh, that's a knowing, that's an intuition. So it was like giving me a little bit of everything, whatever suits them best. To like, they know what your gifts are and how they can reach you.
Yeah.
That's what they'll use.
I would have liked to know how she dealt with it, your cousin, the police officer, how she like went and said like, here's the history I have with Carlene. This is why I believe her. And the fight that would have caused, the fight uphill, meaning like...
Yeah, I don't know. Well, her husband is a detective and he was working on the case. And so I believe that's what happened. And she was just kind of... It was interesting.
Kind of open still.
Yeah.
We were still like, we're going to do our investigation, but let's...
Well, it was a cold case. She texted me and was like, here, when she showed me the picture, and then I started giving her information, and I was like, what is this? And she's like, it's a cold case. And then I'm like, okay, tell me no more. Let me figure this out. And then when I was asking her things, I could tell that she was checking it with somebody else that must have been right there. So I don't know if it was her husband or if it was other police officers. And I don't even know if that's true, but I just felt that. And then she would be like, yes or no, but everything,
Cool. Yeah.
yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I did get one comment today from somebody that listens to the podcast that she felt like it was a little bit rushed.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it was.
It was a timing issue.
Yeah.
There was a mix up in time.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we got to get this all in like really quick before.
You could tell because she was like, I'm ready to leave.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, it was definitely.
Oh, is it bedtime? What are you doing up?
I think my sister was like, so wait, I don't give it away because I'm trying to listen, but I'm kind of confused. And I'm like, just keep listening. It'll work itself out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely we knew it when we ended it.
Right. And I did talk, we talked afterwards, and I was like, maybe I'll do like a
narrative,
a preamble to the, but I felt like we kind of gave the whole story away in the actual.
Yeah.
So after I listened to it from beginning to end, I was like, okay, it's all there.
Yeah.
So
that's why I told
really
her,
no
I'm like,
reason.
just listen. It's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. But it did. Yeah, you could tell it did feel a little bit rushed, but
We were. We were.
But it was nice to get another perspective, like from
somebody who was actually there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we loved that and appreciated Mayanna's whole thing, her whole commentary.
Yeah, I want to have her again.
Yes.
But when we can have more time. I mean, listen, this woman has like 15 kids. She's a police officer, has a full-time job. I mean, she's a busy lady, so I get it.
All right. So anyways, where were we?
She does not have 15 kids, but she has a lot.
She pulled up there. She saw the tire tracks.
Okay.
And she felt that it was inevitable that she died.
Yeah. So I don't remember if I read that. She said that she felt trauma.
Yeah.
She felt scared. It was like an energy that was tingling inside of her. It was sort of like you feel when you get an adrenaline rush. The feelings forced Etta to keep searching. Soon she spotted some fresh tire tracks. So they stop again. She puts her hands on the tire tracks, and
that's a good idea. I've never thought to do that, even though I can feel.
She didn't know why. She just felt compelled to put her hands in them.
They were telling her to do it.
Like, put your hands on that garbage can for Jesse Shockley.
Yes.
You remember everything.
You are good.
Yeah. Well, she just said Jesse, so I remember that. But yeah, I'm great. I'm amazing. I remember everything.
You absolutely are.
Tell that to my wife when she's like, "Did you take out the trash?" No, I forgot.
I forgot the trash, but I remember. I remember Carlene
James
talking
Dean
about.
was in Rebel Without a Cause, and East of Eden, and Giant.
Right.
Yeah,
That's for your mom.
yeah. Thank you, Mom.
Etta said she got the feeling from the tire tracks that the missing woman had been there. When we got back to the van, the only thing I could think about is, I want to leave here. I don't want to be here anymore. But they continue on. As they progress further down the canyon, Etta stopped again, and that's when her daughter saw something white under a bush. It was a white nursing shoes. This is when she noticed. So it must have been right after she got off her last shift. That's my feeling, because why would she... Either that or she's heading into her shift.
Was this the one?
Well, she didn't go to work, so yeah.
Yeah.
Not to jump ahead, but is this the one that the woman was kidnapped, like in the garage? She was a nurse. Okay.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of murder shows. It's hard.
I don't
to
think
remember.
so. But there was a lot of information on this case. There was like unsolved mysteries. There was an Oprah show.
No.
There was everything.
Nope.
Okay. This is when she finally notifies the police and tells them that they find this missing woman. It was Melanie Uribe, and they had found out. Oh wait, sorry. It was Melanie Uribe that they had found, and autopsy would reveal that she had been beaten, stripped naked, raped, and died of blunt force trauma to the head.
So
She'd also been robbed.
Wow, I'm sorry that I'm a couple wines in, but so those shoes were connected to her body.
Yes.
You said she found shoes. I thought like just the shoes.
No.
And then you were like, she found the body, and I'm like,
No.
where'd you find the body?
It was like the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
The
It's
shoes.
Like the shoes are on the
on her.
disappearing witch. You're calling her a witch? How dare you?
No.
Bitch better be dead.
No.
Bitch better be.
Witch better be dead. There you go. A picture of the house on the witch, and it says witch better be dead. Okay, go.
That would make a great shirt. Which
Yeah.
better be dead. That even she had been called to the police. Okay, that evening. Sorry, I can. You guys are yawning. I'm boring you.
No.
That
she's
evening.
yawning.
So that evening, she ends up getting called to the police department. She goes in there. They fucking grill her to death.
Yeah, because they think she's the one that she should.
You're
Yeah.
at the scene of the crime.
You found
so
her?
at first she's like, okay, this is totally normal. Yeah, they want to know like why I found her, whatever. But like, they grill her for 10 hours.
Wow.
10 fucking hours. And then she agrees to a polygraph. They take 2. She passes them both, but they don't tell her that she passes them. They fucking book her.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Arrest her. She's in jail for 4 days.
I was warned of this by the person I call my mentor the very first time I saw her. Because I think that's when I was getting something about Jessie Shockley. And she was like, well, let me just tell you something. And then she told me, she goes, just be careful, because sometimes when we're trying to do the right thing, we get accused of the actual crime.
Right.
Well, if you watch that on Netflix, they have those like confession tapes, and it's like false
Oh my god, I
confessions.
just started
but
watching that. I watched
yeah,
the first one.
the guy with the driving the car, it's I think on the last one, but the guy drives the car off, and he's like, I don't know what happened. I just floored it, and we went into the water, and everybody dies except for him and the wife, and they're like, what's going on? And then they question him for hours. But it's the thing also. I have a Baltimore homicide detective that used to work for us, used to be in Baltimore homicide in the 80s, and he said that we can lie about, we found your fingerprints, and just show fingerprints and be like, those are your fingerprints, we found them on the cabinet. And you'll be like, okay, I guess I touched a cabinet.
Yeah.
When those are just fingerprints that we got from some other thing.
Well, did you watch... I think it was the first one where they got that guy to completely confess to the murder, and he hadn't even done it. It was like these kids from an out of state that had done it.
Well, and it's the same thing with which you guys should do, the Paradise Lost, the trilogy of that. You should do that with those 3 kids that supposedly killed. Anyway, you should look.
Is that the...
That's the one that was on
Satanic
HBO
Panic?
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting ones is on that is but basically he was like, we can say whatever we want as long as it's from us, and not that Alma said she saw you there. Like, that's calling in the public now, and making that not right.
Right.
What's right is to just be like, oh yeah, we saw you there, or we know that you did this. But he said sometimes there's idiots who a guy put his foot up on his leg while he's talking, and he said he looks under the guy's foot, and on his shoe there's blood.
Right.
He's like, there's blood on your shoe. He gets the guys to come in, take his shoes, and you know. And also something else real quick, I'll end with this. That remember that show Homicide in the day? So he was like one of the guys that they did his office, and he said, so he went on the studio, on the stage.
Joe Kenda?
Like, no.
Oh,
this is the Homicide show. No,
okay.
It's a show called Homicide from the 80s. And so he said he goes there, and they had replicated his desk. So when he pulled his desk, it had everything that he had in his desk.
Oh my God.
But he said he trained, Munch, who went on to be SVE. He used to be a stand-up comedian. Anyway, Munch was on Homicide first, then he went on to SVE. You're like, she's like, I'm being bored. You're talking movies, not on my podcast, TV shows. So he was showing him, like, because he had to ride with him to see how to be a cop. And so they go into the morgue, and he's like, we take these wooden dowels and we put them through the bullet holes to see the trajectory. And he's like, Munch, the guy that plays Munch, was like, he's like, I got to go outside. Like, that's what you do? He's like, yeah. So he had to wait in the hallway, but they had a whole bunch of dead bodies, like, lining in the hallway because they were full. And then he said the other thing was that they go to interrogate a guy, and the guy's like, I didn't do it. And they put him in the cell, waiting and holding, and he's like, now watch. If the guy doesn't go to sleep, if the guy goes to sleep, he's the guy that did it. Because they have not a care in the world. You got nothing on me, fuck you. And they go to bed. The guy that's fucking paranoid is like, what do they have? What do they have? What do they have?
Right.
The guy that didn't do it. And sure as shit, that guy fell asleep, and then later they found out, and that Munch was like, holy shit. The guy that plays Munch, forgive me for not knowing his name. But it was just interesting on the cop stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But it's crazy that they can lie to you. And
It's
that's
funny.
where my wife's like, if anything happens, like you just
Lawyer.
say, like I've told Alma before, if my wife kills me, it's going to be an injection in my sphincter because nobody will check my sphincter for an injection. So.
Oh my gosh.
But she's like, if something happens to me, I go, honey, they're going to look up shit that we looked up on Joe Kenda, we looked up on whatever, all these murder shit, they're going to look up. And she's like, you just lawyer up. Like, because she goes, I know you. I want to help. Let me help. And then you'll be in jail for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I always tell my kids, first thing you say is lawyer.
So, yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no. So they end up, like,
10
booking
hours.
her. Like, she's there, like, for 4 days.
4 days,
Wow.
24 hours of those, she didn't have any food or water.
What?
Jeez.
She doesn't even have any shoes on in the jail cell.
No.
And to add insult to injury, she ends up with dysentery and she loses a shitload of weight. And there's like one of the interviews with her kids, and they're like, yeah, she comes home and we're like, oh my God, who are you? Like, she just looked terrible when she got out of there. But meanwhile, while she's in jail, she has no idea what's going on in the outside world, and that the case is progressing, and that the fucking shits that actually did this were bragging to people, and they brag to the wrong people, and those people end up talking to the cops, and they end up getting arrested. Anyways.
That's what's crazy is you always go like, why do you talk? Like, you just keep your mouth shut and nobody will know, but somebody always has to go, yeah, I did kill a guy once.
All right, so one of the real killers ends up bragging about what they had done.
How come she finally got let go?
Well, because these guys, these dummies, like, gave themselves away. They end up arresting 17-year-old by the name of Luis Carnell Morgan and Spencer Nelson, who were driving the truck witnessed by those people that had reported to the cops. Both men confessed to the murder after they were arrested, convicted, and sent to prison for the murder of Melanie Uribe. Etta was subsequently released on the 21st of December.
I hope she sued.
Yeah. Detective Ryan, who is the guy, I've kind of skipped through a bunch of this, but he's the guy she initially talks to when she goes into the police department. He credits Etta's visions for helping solve the case. And he is quoted as saying, I was quite amazed, and I think a lot of other people were too, but I think a lot of them were reluctant to want to admit it. Had it not been for Etta Smith, I don't think this case would have been solved as rapidly rapidly as it was, or possibly not at all. No shit, because she actually fucking went down there and she found her body. Etta still has no explanation for her visions. I sometimes wonder what it was that transpired from this innocent person who was murdered and how her death somehow reached out and touched me. I think it's one of the mysteries in life that many things happen to us throughout our life that are unexplainable. All right. So, and then I got some mixed reviews from this, going through some of these articles. According to some of the articles, she still claims not to be a psychic, but others say that she has gone on to assist several police departments and crime victims using her abilities. So it was just, anyways, I got my information really quick from Unsolved Mysteries, and an article by Darian West at darianwest.medium.com. The article was called "How a Psychic Found the Body of Melanie Uribe."
Do you guys remember that one psychic that lied, like had a dog and would train the dog to like, oh, the dog hit on this, and this is...
No.
Yeah, I can't think of the name, but it was a guy who was just lying, either a guy or a girl that was pretending to be a psychic and just having their dog like
Really?
read things. Yeah, and was like, it was real weird.
I'll have to look that one up. I remember her.
We should use that. Look that one up. We should talk about that next time.
But
wait, I feel like I should give you some more wine.
No, because now we're at the end and I have to go home. Look at this. Yeah, I cannot believe you drank all that.
He drank something.
No, you drank that whole bottle, and now you're trying to blame us.
I thought you were going to read on yours. I mean,
no, I think we're going to save it, and we're going to do it.
That's why I'm slurring. Anyways,
I just spit all over myself. If that helps you out.
Really good conversation.
That was good. That was a good conversation.
Here's something that I wrote down. So, have you ever had someone reach out to you that you have covered on the show? So, let's say you're talking about like Benet Ramsey,
right?
Have you been like, oh wait, John Benet is saying she got killed by... Because you should. That would be a really increase in the listens if you just every time was like, oh my God, John Benet's telling me right now that her dad did.
The only one is Jesse Shockley that we've really talked about.
And that was when you were out there, though, not here.
I actually... And that was just like, that was kind of like the nurse. Or the woman. What's her name?
Etta James. Etta Smith.
Etta James. I just happened to be watching the news, and then I was like, now I don't watch the news very often, but I was watching the news, and I was like, oh, I wish I could use my abilities to help, like, when stuff like this happens. And then they were like, really? Okay, here you go.
Download.
Yeah. I asked for it, and they gave it to me, and then all of a sudden, it was before she died that I was getting stuff on her. And it was like, I know where she is. She's in a closet, she's like handcuffed, but they're not feeding her. And then I would call my mom and be like, okay, you watch the news. You'll hear I'm going to tell you this stuff. And then the news will tell you about it later. But I didn't watch the news and I told you first. Yeah. So I would tell her. And then I was like, they keep her. It's so weird how they were showing me this room that she was in. And it was almost like a room and there was just a mattress. And sometimes I'd see a TV in it. So sometimes you don't know if it's a symbol that they're giving you or if this is actually how they were living. Yeah. But it came out that she really wasn't being fed. Like that happened a lot. That's how she did. Yeah. And then I was laying in bed, tickling my daughter's back to go to sleep. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I felt like somebody just kicked me in the stomach as hard as they could, but it was a sharp feeling. And I was like, I see this boot with a silver tip. And I was like, oh no, she's gone. They killed her. Somebody just kicked her so hard that they were like, holy fuck, I just killed her. And they didn't mean to. Yeah. Like, because she was so weak, it didn't take much.
Yeah, and so little. Yeah.
And then she just kept hanging on to me, like pinching my ears and hanging on to me. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know what you want me to do. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to get in my car and you show me where they took you. And then I just let them drive, take me out. And they took me to where I have never been. Didn't even know this road went to where it went. And I was like, okay, this is crazy, but I'm going to get out and walk. And it's like, the only thing I regret is not looking under this pile of rocks where it would have been very obvious. that she would have been under that pile of rocks.
And now that we've tried to go out there, they've fenced off the whole
It's all
area.
fenced up.
There was a good. Did you watch that recent? Not the recent Dateline, but the Friday one where the two guys killed this other guy that wanted. This guy was an idiot. First of all, I will say that because he's young and he finds out that he has his daughter after 2 years, and they're like, oh, and he goes and sees his daughter that day. He comes home. He's like posting pictures of her. And then somebody calls him and says, you want to know how to get custody of your kids? Come and see me. He's like, okay, Dad, I got to leave. His dad's like, it's midnight. What are you doing? No, they called me. They said that they want me. They're going to show me how to get custody. He shows up. It's a brother of the guy that's with his ex-girlfriend, who's now the new husband. And they end up killing the guy. And it's like, oh, my God. But anyway, that's a good one. But something... cosmic coincidences.
That's on Dateline?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to
I was telling her about cosmic coincidences, kind of like those feelings, and different for me because I love movies and TV shows. So one day, I get home at night, I'm talking to my cousin about a movie called Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson. And I'm like, yeah, that was a good movie. And we're like, yeah, when he fell down the stairs, that was cool. We're like, yeah, like he's tied to a wheelchair and he falls down the stairs. And we're like, yeah, that was cool. And then I get home in the morning and I'm like, on my DVR, I got Saturday Night Live. And I put it on there and I'm playing like a recorded Saturday Night Live. She's like, make this story quick. Where
No, I just was like, where are we?
So I look at Saturday Night Live and they're walking up to this group of people, 3 people that are, it's an Italian, like it's called cork soakers. Not cocksuckers, but it's cork soakers. So they're like, oh, we're going to go and meet the cork soakers.
We are going to drink a lot of wine and then soak up the...
So there's 3 people with their backs to them. Now, I'm 49 years old, so I grew up on the 70s Saturday Night Live. So I'm like, oh my God, this is Italian. Wouldn't it be cool if one of those guys turned around as Father Guido Sarducci?
Oh my gosh.
That would be so great.
Hilarious.
And he was like, hello, yes, cork soakers. So I'm like, oh my God, that'd be great. So I watch it. It's Janet Jackson, 2 other people. And they say cork soakers through the whole thing. I'm like, how did they not fuck that up and say cocksuckers? But okay.
I would have fucked it up.
Does the whole thing. I'm like, okay, I'll watch the whole Saturday Night Live. I'm done with that. I'm flipping through channels. And what do I find?
Stop it.
But Conspiracy Theory. The scene where he's falling down the stairs in the wheelchair. And I'm like, holy shit, I just talked to Chip about that. I finished watching that little bit scene. I turn the channels. I turn it to something else. And it's like, coming up next after the commercial, we talk about how we joined... somebody came up with the idea to join man's best friend with man's favorite pastime, America's favorite pastime. And it was in San Francisco where they, if they do a home run, it goes into the bay. And then they have a dog go out and get the ball. And then they adopt the dog. They bring it out to the middle of the thing. So they're like, yeah, this guy came up with the idea. And all of a sudden there's the guy that played Father Guido Sarducci going, yes, so I came up with this idea of having this thing. And I'm like, that's fucking Father Guido Sarducci. Like, what the fuck? So, yeah.
If we speak it into existence, I guess we end up somehow running into it.
It happens.
I was like, amazing.
This was a good one.
This was good.
This was fun. We could have gone on all night.
I hope so. Yeah, well, you want to keep going?
We kind of have
all night. I got all my stuff right here. I got the CIA thing. Come on.
Oh, MK Ultra. You need to do MK Ultra.
That is definitely one we are going to
do. The what?
MK Ultra is like a CIA ran thing. It's the same thing, kind of. But they would have like hookers sleep with high-end like politicians. The politicians were talking their sleep. Hookers would write everything down. And then
that's a good one. Yeah, we need to do that.
That's just part of it. And then they do the LSD stuff.
What?
There's a thing on Netflix called...
I do like the whole remote viewing thing. Like, that is pretty fucking awesome. I did want to talk about Uri Geller. Did you run into that?
Sounds familiar.
I don't know.
So he's like a well-known, like, Israeli British psychic that he becomes a CIA operative. And he's like, there's a whole bunch of stuff about him out on like Netflix and whatever. But
was that the one?
Yeah.
The Wormwood.
I don't know.
No. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know.
Wormwood is the MK Ultra thing.
No. On Netflix. This is a different guy. So anyways, he has a ton of shit to say, like how they used him, whatever. But there was like a bunch of CIA stuff that like actually got redacted and like put out into the public and whatever. So I did want to talk about him. So
you talk about him.
Okay.
I will. I do my own remote stuff with other people in real life. I do that with my kids. So I have some.
They're like, what's this apartment like in Italy? Like,
I have some
very nice.
kick-ass stories to like. It's amazing.
Well, and I do think like your thing is true crime, but like when she started the show, Yvette was doing true crime and she was doing supernatural, like weird stuff, and that's what I think Alma would really thrive in is like the UFO stuff, and maybe every once in a while you take the murder stuff.
Oh, well, we were doing that.
Yeah, you do that every once in a while, but
we haven't done it in a while.
No, I do want to do some more like
the Bob and Barney Hill or whatever.
Yeah, we
haven't
shifted I was thinking about that. I have some true crime that I want to do, so we do need to shift soon. And you do like to do, and you do find some awesome stories. So, all right, we're going to do this. You definitely need to do what you guys were just talking about, because I think that you'll do it more justice than I will.
I think Phillip should come and join us again.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe when we do this, we'll do like a kind of like a Zoom thing, because it's really hard to like organize our schedules to get together and like meet up. So I'm talking about her and I.
Right.
So maybe we can do like a Zoom thing and like do this, and maybe we just put it on Patreon, the whole that whole piece of it. I don't know. However you want to do it.
I just think, why don't we put this extra? I point to this because there's so much in here, but there's so much that I didn't get to put on.
Right.
Because I just kind of abbreviated everything.
Well, and I think the whole reading part, like, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And it also segues into what we want to do for Patreon is, like, have
the
special
listeners come in and read them.
Yeah, you could do it on Zoom or like you said.
Yeah. So,
all right, well, we'll work all that out, but I definitely think he's right about you doing you can definitely do more justice for that one story, the CI. Which one you were just talking about?
Like, she's like, well, maybe not all of us, because me and the wife love those murder shows, but she's more like, I love the MK Ultra, the Skinwalkers. Like,
I want to do Black Eyed Children, the whole...
The what?
Black Eyed Children.
Or Shadow People. Yeah. And like,
see, I don't do that. I don't do that stuff.
She won't do that.
No, I won't. Yeah. You have to do it.
Well, you could hear her talk about it, and then you could be like, no.
No, motherfucker. I'm doing it. Sage this room.
No, motherfucker,
hold your cross necklace and be like, no.
And sage the fuck out of this house.
All right, so we're gonna end it at that. Thank you, Phillip, for joining us tonight.
No problem.
If you want to just like give your website and all that.
It's My Celluloid Heart Podcast, wherever you
not
get podcast. And what? Yeah, not cellulite. Not
Sorry.
There's no pictures of whatever.
Dimply thighs.
I don't want to insult anybody like Alma's already done with the Selena girl. And who was the other one? So, yes, wherever you get podcasts, if you like movies, listen to it. But if you're listening to this, listen to Sword and Scale or last podcast on the left, they moved to
Can we talk about Sword and Scale after the podcast? Okay. After all this is done.
Okay.
Anyways, and then Carlene.
Yeah, where do they find you?
If you would like my services.
Oh, sexy. Hang on, let me close my eyes. Let me unzip my pants. Oh, they're butterfly. Hang on a minute.
ASMR.
If you'd like my services.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's back door open.
And now back to our show.
You can reach me on Facebook at Psychic Medium Carlene Higgins, or on Yahoo at carlene.spirit@yahoo.com.
Yahoo. What are you, 1990s called? They want their website back.
I haven't changed anything. Even I still have Hotmail.
Yeah,
really? Wow. Yeah.
What is yours?
I have Gmail.
You don't have you have
My
Gmail?
Celluloid Heart is
I have
Gmail.
a Gmail.
Oh, we have Yahoo.
I have Yahoo. I have Gmail. I got it all.
Okay, a lot of people have AOL and
I do not have. You got mail.
Hey, I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks revamping our website a little bit. And like, if you visit our website at tipsy-tales at Yahoo,
she got tipsy-tales.com.
I have like revamped it. As soon as you go on there, you could see like all the little, like, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Things
Oh,
you
right.
just,
Yeah,
you just click on it right away.
If you don't have Apple, you can click on Google or Spotify.
And
Stitcher.
if you want to visit our merch store, you can click on it
right
from there. And any of our stories readily
right there for
available.
you.
Anyways, I can't talk anymore, so it's definitely time to end this podcast.
Go to tipsy-tales.com.
Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of us is sober.
All right.
Thank you,
I'm
everyone.
Alma.
I'm Carlene.
Oh, I thought you were going to be Phillip. I was going to be Alma.
I'm Phillip.
I'm Alma. Thank you for joining. Oh, no, I'm Carlene. Yeah. Call me if you need a second.
Thank you guys for joining us. Good night.
Good night.